name is Dennis Sperling. If you've been involved in an accident, call me and I'll fight for you. I'm not an actor or a celebrity spokesperson. I'm a real trial lawyer, and I'll appear before real judges and real juries on behalf of people with serious injuries. So when I say I'll fight for you, I mean it, and I'll back it up. If you've been hurt in an automobile or 18-wheeler accident, contact me toll free at 866-529-2444, and I'll fight for your rights.
This is a good dude, y'all. Coming in with a story, man, big time lawyer out here in Texas, man. He not telling a story, and y'all need to do the same.
Well, my books, I started writing these books in 2011, and they're called
yeah, there we go.
Rules to Live By, How to Maintain Peace of Mind and Happiness in a Conflicted World. And you can get them on Amazon, and you can download them directly off Amazon and Kindle. Just look up Dennis Sperling, which is my name, Dennis Sperling, and type in Amazon. They'll come right up. If you want a hard copy, you can email me at sperlingdennis@gmail.com. If you want a copy of the books, and I'm telling you, I give you a lot of different scenarios. There's some child support stuff in here, but it's mostly a lot of different areas which I've had to deal with in my personal life. Those of you guys who have sons who have you just met, or sons who are separated from you, if you one of those young men, and I call myself the lost son, and I actually wrote a lot of music, man. Come to find out, man, I'm related to B.B. King through my grandma. It was her cousin. That's like my cousin. So
he from Mississippi too.
Yeah. Her name was Elmira King. He was B.B. King. They were cousins, and they all lived out in that area, And so come to find out, man, music is in my blood. So I end up doing 7 albums with Beans and Cornbread. They produced Slim Thug, Paul Wall. Okay. I actually have a track with Paul Wall from back in the day. It's called Grown Man Stuff, but that's not something I want to go into. But bottom line is that creativity allows me to be who I am. But the books, you can find them on Amazon. You can do the Kindle thing. They're very interesting. They're a wonderful read. You can probably read them in 2 or 3 days, but they're great for young men who have grown up, who haven't had their fathers. It basically deals with everything that we as Black American men have had to deal with in the past 40 years.
Man, I was like, man, I was checking you out. I'm like, damn, this man a real deal. So yeah, definitely, man. We all got to reach back. You know what I'm saying? And we right now, like with Kev, we got Donovan, we got all these different brothers put in a network. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's using their talents to help each other get to the next level. Definitely love to bring you into the fold.
Definitely. You guys are amazing. All you guys, I just love to hear my Black brothers speaking their mind. I just want to hear you all say what it is that you want to say and speak on your behalf, because I know you're a little bit younger than I am, man, but hell, since the 1980s, all I've been hearing is Black men get bashed. They ain't this, they ain't that. We've had nobody to speak up on our behalf, so we've been told just to shut up and take it, be the strong, silent type. It's not manly for you to speak up. How dare you argue with these women, blah, 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 even if what they're saying is outright lies and what we know not to be true. Even in our religious, whether it's whether it's the church or the Black Muslims or any of these type of folks, it's always seemed like they rather bash the men as opposed to hold the ladies accountable. And that's unfortunate, because you've created this one-sided war, and you have one side that has no accountability for what they've done. And then now what? Look at where we are as a culture.
Actually, Brother DeBell 5000 got a question. Is there any way for family court laws to change if men and real women push to change it? What's your thoughts on that?
Well, I think the fact that you have more women being forced to pay child support and alimony is probably the only thing that's going to make them say we need to change these laws. Because as long as it was one-sided and it was men paying women for the past, I don't know how many years, at least since the 90s.
A lot of
years.
A lot of years.
Then there was no incentive for women to even want to change anything because that's their fallback plan. I marry a rich guy, I have some kids, I divorce them, I'm good. But right. But now that women are being forced to have to ante up, I think there is some incentive for it to change. And here's another thing: a lot of those ladies who have sons who they've seen been manhandled by the child support system, they should become advocates for family law reform. I think one thing we should do is we should begin to do away with child support altogether.
Like they use Black men as a catalyst to get more funding for themselves to go in a different direction. What are your thoughts on Black Lives Matter as an organization?
I am not happy with Black Lives Matter as an organization. In fact, I'm absolutely disgusted by Black Lives Matter as an organization. These vultures, what they do is whenever a Black man is shot by a white cop or a white race soldier or one of these white suburban commandos, they come in to protest, and they only come in to protest if those Black men's lives fit a certain narrative. So Black Lives Matter is a very disingenuous organization. It talks about marching and protesting, but if we look at who they're marching and protesting for, oftentimes it is, again, Black men who are Pookies and Ray Rays who are shot and killed by a white police officer, a race soldier, or one of these white suburban commandos. They go out here, they kick up a fuss with this protesting, and they really are not anything about Black men or Black men's issues. Because when I look at Black Lives Matter, they don't talk about Black men's issues.
Dramatization.
After a car wreck, you may have to fight with a highly trained insurance company rep whose job is to knock your damaged claim down and out. It's a bad idea to enter the ring alone against a trained boxer, and it could be a bad idea to fight against a big insurance company by yourself. When the bell rings, attorney Dennis Sperling will be there to fight for your rights. If you've been seriously injured in a car wreck, call me, attorney Dennis Sperling, at 866-529-2444. That's 866-529-2444. Hey, what's up, everybody? If you appreciate the format and you appreciate what we're doing here, then make sure you contribute to the Cash App, make sure you contribute to the PayPal, make sure you donate to the Super Chat. It's only you and your contributions that keep this thing going. Thanks.
Attorney, reality show creator, and rapper Dennis Sperling. Also joining us is Sperling's good friends, Vondrick Christmas and Dion Dorsett. Welcome to the Factor Uncensored.
What's up, Isaac?
Now, here's the thing. I've been reading your Facebook posts for years,
Okay.
and this is what you've been espousing. You're saying, I need to leave this country to find a good woman.
Yeah. Okay. See, first of all,
No
I don't really
backtracking
like
now.
the way you
No
just brought us in here
backtracking.
like that, man. We don't need the smoke, man. We don't need that type of smoke. Okay. What happened was I got divorced, and I looked around and I said, you know, I want to change, you know, and I never really traveled. I went to school. These guys went to school with me, and they know all we did was study. And so I got married. That didn't work out. I got divorced, and then I said, well, you know what? Let me get a passport and see what that's like. So I started traveling overseas. I went to the Dominican Republic, Jamaica, all over London, Europe, things that I had never done before, and I liked it, and I liked what I saw, and I enjoyed myself. And when I did decide to date, I got treated like a king, so I go where I'm celebrated. You know, and that's basically it.
You're not celebrated here in the United States like you want to be.
Okay, see, what had happened was I got divorced. You know, but I'm gonna be honest with you guys. My Facebook posts are real, but really they're the feelings that a lot of African American men and men in general feel. They say, look, the juice is not worth the squeeze. I work all my life. I do everything I can to please my wife, and then she divorces me. 70% of marriages are brought to divorce by the women in those relationships. So clearly people aren't happy. Look at the marriage rate. Look at the depression rate that we have. I think people need to get out a little bit more. But more importantly, you know, it's something that I like. These guys, I know that they don't feel the same way I do because my Facebook page has a diverse group of guys with different ideas. And so this is just what works for me, you know?
And so what works for you guys?
So I would say that
and then it depends on what type
And
of man
is
you are.
anything wrong with that?
Nothing.
Requiring more?
No, it's nothing wrong with that at all. It's just, you know, those expectations seem for some guys maybe a little bit much.
I argue all day, and I don't have time to come home and argue.
And so that's what you get with
what
you perceive to be an American woman.
I think that American women, they have so much pressure on them that it's nearly impossible for them to fulfill those traditional roles that women have fulfilled all the way up until the 50s when industrialization and it's impossible for them to do that. So the culture and what we have going on here in the United States makes it impossible to have one of those traditional relationships. Whereas in Colombia or the Dominican Republic or Haiti, the women, they still have that culture that says, hey, I'm cooking and cleaning for my man, but hey, there's some responsibilities on the men too, because those women, they still want men that take care of business, that go to work, that pay bills. So you have you have a role you have to fill, and she has a role she has to fill. So it's not like I'm just going down there sitting up on the sofa and she's making mango every day, feeding me like I'm a king.
you never get flack from, I hate to say it, man, but you're a successful brother.
Yeah.
And I'm a successful man. I don't get flack from my peers. I don't get flack from guys that are up here doing the things we're doing, regardless of where the comment is. You tend to get flack from guys who are not where they want to be.
Right.
And it's like, look, man. And here's one thing that's unique about the Black community. We got the barbershop experience, and that takes anywhere from the homeless dude to the D-boy to the corporate exec. We all go to the same spot. And that's one thing that's unique about us is the socioeconomic groups. We mix, and we all look at each other as men. And I'm like, no, there's white men, non-Black men have long been able to do all these things, but when Black men just do what's normal and natural, we're muted. And that's what brothers are finally starting to push back and fight against, because that's crazy to think that you shouldn't have a younger woman, especially if you can pay the cost to be the boss and provide. That's the ideal situation.
It is
ideal situation, because she never has to go outside and work and get outside of her femininity.
It seems to me, for those who say this is bad for the Black community, it would seem to me that the perfect pairing is a mature older man with resources who's proven himself, and a younger fertile woman who can come together and reproduce children in a safe family environment. I believe in marriage. I don't like the family laws that are set up they are, but I do believe in marriage. I think men are better in marriage when they have loving women who care for them, who are reciprocate, who are feminine, and who are there to help them be the best men they can be. I believe in marriage. I just don't like the way the system is set up. Now, there are some things you can do to mitigate that: prenuptial agreements, postnuptial agreements, have an understanding, put some money in trust account. So you can eliminate the financial incentive in getting a divorce, and there you are. Now you got a person in front of you. But
I'm glad that we actually got a high value man. Shout out to Kevin Samuels. I'm not sure if you've been following the high value movement, but you know what I'm saying, you definitely would fit that description. I mean, a lawyer, you know what I'm saying? You went about it the right way. You're married. Unfortunately, the marriage didn't work out, but you got to do what you got to do. Yeah. And what you have to do is co-parent. And we hear the women all the time tell us stories about how I'm such a good, we co-parent good. It's always the women talking about it. You know what I'm saying? But you as a black man, high value black man, it's very important that you get a perspective and give the brothers the right advice as far as co-parenting. And it seems like that's been the bulk of your work, you know what I'm saying? Outside of the law, you know, you've been really pushing for co-parenting and just showing the dynamics of it and how it should work and how it can work in harmony. Because again, you don't have no ill will against your wife. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not saying it on your show.
You know what I'm saying? So you ain't cooking her. So I mean, it seems like everything, you know, you got everything copacetic. So talk to the brothers who may be going through a divorce.
Well,
who may be in a situation where, look, man, I had a kid with this woman and I got all these things going, but I'm trying to make sure I keep harmony for the sake of the kids, because that's who it's about.
Well, let me say this, brother. I got divorced for a reason.
Okay.
And I, in the wake of that divorce, 5 years thereafter, I got myself what's called a baby mama. I don't know if you've heard of that, but life got real.
I've heard of that. Have we heard of that, church?
Yeah, it got complicated after that happened because the children were born under two separate circumstances. So I can pull from both of these, you know, to kind of explain, you know, what happened. Now, I would suggest that you never get a baby mama if you can avoid one, but it happened to me. But basically I think my point is you can't co-parent with everyone, period. If you weren't married to that woman, if you were married to a woman, hopefully you guys came to an accord at some point and you can use that as a foundation to begin to co-parent and do what's in the best interest of the child. Now, if you had one night where you turned up at the club and you just randomly met some woman and you have nothing in common with her and you don't know much about her and you guys have two different set of principles and understanding about how life should be and how children should raise, it's going to be very difficult for you to co-parent with that person. So
is that the case with the baby mama?
Probably so.
Hi, my name is Dennis Sperling. I'm not a lawyer, but my daddy is.
Yeah, if you've been hurt in a car accident, call my daddy.
No need to scream and yell like a little kid.
Yeah, no yelling.
My daddy will fight for your rights.
Yeah, fight for your rights.
If you've been involved in a car accident, call my daddy, returning Dennis Sperling.
Hello, I'm attorney Dennis Sperling. If you've been injured in a car wreck, call me at 713-229-0770.
Call my daddy.
Hey, what's up, everybody? If you appreciate the format and you appreciate what we're doing here, then make sure you contribute to the Cash App, make sure you contribute to the PayPal, make sure you donate to the Super Chat. It's only you and your contributions that keep this thing going. Thanks.
Understanding about life. I know what it is to be with a woman and how you have to treat a woman and how you have to pick and select a woman. And you do a great job at explaining to these young men what they don't want and what they should be looking after. I didn't have somebody like you when I was a young man. You see,
yeah. Do you believe in marriage, and would you get married again?
I would definitely get married again. It would definitely be a different kind of woman. It would definitely be a woman not from the toxic culture that I was raised in. Okay. And so it's not a race thing, it's a culture thing. Okay. Let me say that again for the people in the back. It's not a race thing, it's a culture thing. I typically have only dated Black women, Black American women. I tried to date the Jamaican lady who ended up being my child's mother, but she was Black American in her culture because she was raised in the United States. Now, I'm not saying that there aren't good women out there, but what I'm saying is you're looking at a toxic culture that does not put the family first. They put the me first. They put the get the bag first. And so it's impossible to have a union with somebody like that. we got a lot of stuff going on politically. And the question that I presented today for the brothers here is, this is my statement. Just because Trump has been voted out doesn't mean that the show is over. 70 million fervent followers voted for him in 2020, despite knowing all of his shortcomings. Trump is a symptom. He is a reflection of how nearly 1/2 of Americans feel. How does this affect Black men? Let's talk about it. And as the opening statement, it was 2021 and beyond. 70 million Trump voters aren't going anywhere. Look, unless you've been living under a rock, you know that 5 people have been shot and killed in Washington, D.C. As of now, related to the protest outside the Capitol building. One of them is this gentleman, Benjamin Phillips. He basically runs a Trump website, pro-Trump website called Trumparoo, where patriots can mobilize against the corrupt, communist, Marxist, scummy Democrats. Here's another one. We just learned avid Trump supporter Kevin Greeson, who regularly posted online about getting his guns and taking the country back, was one of the 4 people who died in the siege. It was 5 people who died in the siege of the Capitol. Post from Greeson wishing bad things to happen to Nancy Pelosi and identifying with the Proud Boys were found as well. So here's what I'm saying, fellas. You know, these guys, these people are not going anywhere.
And just explain to them generally.
Well, the context of that video was me making a commentary on how people are not really looking objectively at your Donald Trump. And because they're not looking at him objectively, they are approaching him from a position, as I see it, of obsession. Because when I look at the way the Congress has been acting, I look at the way the Senate has been acting, I look at the way people on the street have been acting, and it's like they're not thinking critically or objectively about anything Donald Trump is about. They're coming at it from this position of this extreme emotion. And because they're coming from this extreme emotion, they only think from this perspective of obsessively about Donald Trump. It's all about either you're extremely for Trump or you're extremely against Trump. And these people who are obsessed with Donald Trump, they aren't really thinking about the harm they're doing to the American people.
I will scream and I will holler. Then I'll scream and holler some more, saying absolutely nothing.
You have a choice in legal representation. And in making that choice, do you want an attorney with a made-for-TV nickname to represent you in your serious car wreck claim?
I will growl, kick, and scream.
My name is Dennis Sperling. If you've been involved in a motor vehicle accident, contact me toll-free at 866-529-2444. The choice is yours.
Brothers and sisters, some of these kinds of people we will have to execute.
Yes, sir.
I mean, I know that I'm born to do that. I mean, I've known this for years, and that aspect of my life frightened me. But I've grown accustomed to it now. That there are people among us that we will absolutely chop their heads completely from their bodies for the betrayal of black people, male and female. And you will know when this kind of activity is carried out, you will understand that it's justified if we prove against you that you are a traitor against your people. This is why if you're selling dope, you must cut it out. Because this is a traitorous act. This is not a good thing to sell drugs to your people. This is not a good thing. It is not a good thing to have this little young girl here, beautiful little child in front of me, 10 years old, are these beautiful young men with their little hands swollen because of heroin, because some of you love money more than you love the life of your people and the well-being of your people. I'm telling you, and I don't mind broadcasting it, in the future, we will kill you for this. We're not worried about the white man and his law. When we come to that position in time that we have to execute you for selling drugs, then we will carry out the sentence of death on you just like drinking water. That's right. And hang your head on a pole in the black community. Televise it. This is how we're going to take care of dope sellers. I'm warning you. Oh, nigga, you talking stuff. No, it must come to pass. Because you're killing yourself and you're killing our people, and it's absolutely unnecessary. These things will be punished. And that kind of law, we're going to call for it ourselves. You are not going to take these little young girls and make them prostitutes. You're just not going to do that. And you don't have to tell me that our little young girls are fine. I know they're fine. But you're going to keep yourself away from these fine little girls, and we're going to let them grow up to be fine for whoever the man in their life will be. We will not be around plucking them. Serious business now, brother. You don't make whores out of your little daughters. Penalty is death. Rape, death. We ain't asking nobody to deal with you. We're going to deal with you ourselves. You don't rape no black woman. You don't rape no woman, black or white. But you don't rape a woman. But that's a terrible thing. Rape, violating a woman like that, brother, you're not going to live to be repenting. No, 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 no. You got a bad habit? You just have to rape women? Oh, no. No, you'd be better off feeding the worms. Don't you think so, sisters? All right.
Hey, what's up, everybody? If you appreciate the format and you appreciate what we're doing here, then make sure you contribute to the Cash App, make sure you contribute to the PayPal, make sure you donate to the Super Chat. It's only you and your contributions that keep this thing going. Thanks.
Every living, what y'all are doing right now, God has a problem with that. We have offended God. Selling Lucy, selling drugs, gang banging, bro, all of these things are wrong. You want to say that's the problem, bro. I heard you, but I got shit on me that I can't stick around for. That's what I'm saying, bro. You gotta change, dude. Listen real quick. I will go and return to my place till they acknowledge their offense and seek my face. And their affliction, they will seek me early. So God is saying, in your affliction, then you will seek God early. A lot of the time when our brothers get locked up, who's the first person they turn to? Lord, please have mercy on me. But God is saying the only, I see you laughing, but it's true. It's true. Our brothers say, yo, son, get locked up, Lord, please have mercy on me. What about my wife? What about my kids? How am I going to provide now? But God is saying the only reason I'm allowing this to happen to you is because you've offended me. I gave you straight commandments on how to live. Don't defile yourself. Don't smoke weed. Don't smoke cigarettes. Don't sell drugs. Don't gangbang.
Where does God say anything about weed in the Bible?
Where does God say about weed? It's a lot of it going to be. About give me, but you understand that though? That the affliction that's happening to us being oppressed, us being killed, God is trying to wake us up. And he knows that the more that he does to us, the more that he allows to happen to us, is the more and more that we're going to be so fed up that we say, you know what? I can't turn to the left. I can't turn to the right. I got to turn back to God. That's right. He's my only salvation. I gotta go back to God. That's right. That's why he knows the more I put into the neighborhood, the more and more I make it harder for them to provide, that's when they're gonna turn to me and keep my commandments. Right. So now about the weed. So
Hey, if you're enjoying the content here at Dennis Sperling Unfiltered, make sure you support it by sharing, and subscribing to the channel. And also, hit that little notification bell in the corner so that you'll get notice of each and every one of our live feeds.
The ongoing pandemic and its emerging variants have become urgent. Building the most powerful immune system using all natural ingredients is critical. VK Platinum and VK Boost are formulated to deliver a broad spectrum of over 7,000 nutrients, antioxidants, phytonutrients, key amino acids, and active enzymes, including the highest levels of all natural vitamin C, which optimize the cellular capacity to destroy pathogens. And now joining the VK Platinum team includes Flush Me Out of THC, Sex Mate for men, Silent Flowers for women, Lean and Clean for digestive health, Bull Gorge for male prostate health, and 10X Boost Optimal Botanical Nutrition Mineralization. To build the most powerful immune system immediately and overall nutrition, go to PlatinumVK.com.
What's up, you guys? This is Dennis back today, and we are going to very difficult conversation. That's not difficult for me because I've been dealing with this issue since I was a young teenager, wrestling with the right and the wrong of what I saw growing up in South Central LA. And what do I mean by that? Well, as you can imagine, I grew up in the 1980s. Born in the 1970s, grew up in the 1980s. So I saw what LA was like, you know, as a young child. And then I saw what happened around 1986 when the crack cocaine got big. And so it was a drastic difference. We went from having families and men in the house to everything going to hell in a handbasket. So when I talk, I'm speaking from a place of authority. Now, I know this is an uncomfortable conversation. It's supposed to be, but these are the type of conversations that men are supposed to have. There's a reason why this page is designed for men. That's all good when I'm talking about the lovely ladies and their behavior, but y'all seem not to like it when I'm talking about what we need to do as men, because again, there's no geographical solution for an emotional problem. We are still the same people here in the United States that we were in Africa, which is why we're so quick to sell ourselves out. What did the Africans do? What the hell are you talking about, Dennis? Well, what I'm talking about is the fact that it was other Africans that sold us into slavery. Now, that's hard for some of you all to accept, but it's true. They had deals. White men weren't running into the interior of the Congo and dragging out black people to be enslaved. Black people did that, and they did it for money. So it's something. It is. We value ourselves so little that we put money over and above it. And the dope dealer, who are we gonna deal with today, the predator Pookie, that sold drugs to the black community, is who we dealing with. Now, the problem that I have with the predator Pookie is that black people tend to romanticize this criminal element. You see them as a Robin Hood. I see them as a thief in the night. You see them as a hero. I see them as a genocidal opportunist. And I believe I'm right. Matter of fact, if you look around the world, every other group of people in the world, when they're dealing with dope dealers, when they're dealing with predators in their community, they eliminate them. Tell me I'm lying. Have you guys heard about the story of the president from the Philippines? What did he do to them? He gave the people weapons and said, y'all go out and kill them. That's what he said. That's how other people around the world who love themselves, who love their countrymen, treat drug dealers. That's how they do it. President Duarte ordered Philippines police forces to kill anyone they believe connected to the drug trade when he assumed office in 2016. Now, what we're going to do today is we're going to eliminate all the excuses also. All the excuses that the Pookie defender have, the Pookie defenders, the Predator Pookies. And see, let me be clear again, because it seems as though some folks are hard-headed and they only hear what they want to hear. When I'm talking about Pookie predators, I'm not talking about hard-working plumbers, electricians, TV repairmen, gardeners. I'm not talking about poor people who live in the hood. That's not who I'm talking about. I'm talking about predators. I'm talking about child molesters, rapists, drug dealers, carjackers, people who rob people with guns and knives. That's who I'm talking about. I'm talking about predators. Some of y'all just want to say, you're talking about hood people, these elitists. No, let me tell you something. Hardworking black men who work 9-to-5 jobs, 16-hour days sometimes, blue-collar men, they hate you more than elite, upper middle class, and rich black men hate you because they got to live next to your ass. That's what you got to understand. They hate you. They hate you from the bottom of their souls to the top of their heads because they got to live next to you and they got to go to work all day as auto mechanics and come home to your punk ass. So we're not making excuses for you. We're not going to let you hide behind good, hard-working, blue-collar people who happen to live in the black neighborhoods. No, you are scum. You are a predator, Pookie. That's what you are. You are a predator. So let's talk about it. That's the first thing we're going to do. Shout out to everybody in the chat room. I know it's hard right now. Big what's up. I want to give a big shout out to everybody in the chat room. Hit the #1 button. Big shout out to Greg, John Thomas. Thank you so much for my members. Hit the #1 button. See, these are hard conversations. And this is for grown men. This is for grown men who don't mind having hard conversations, who don't mind stepping on toes. If you find somebody around here tipping and trying to make everybody happy, that's not somebody you want to follow. That's not what we're doing on this page. That's the whole reason I started this page, so we can have some hardcore man-to-man conversations. Ain't no women here. White folks ain't on this page to come save you. Ain't no liberals here. It's just black men talking to other black men about hard truths that we've been running from. No excuses on this page. That's what we're doing because we're going in for the win. Anybody got to have a problem? Anybody have a problem with it? Well, you just have a problem with it. But you're not going to stop this conversation, period. It's long overdue. It's well worth it. And at some point, it's going to have had to happen. And I'm happy to be one of the ones who are trying to bring it out because we need to talk about this. That's what we're doing. But anyway, let's go ahead and get it started. Y'all make sure y'all hit the #1 button, share, like, subscribe. Only subscribers can have this conversation. If you would like to have this conversation, then what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to subscribe to the channel if you want to comment. I appreciate you guys. But let's go ahead and get down to it. And what are we talking about? We are talking about predator Pookies. We're talking about drug dealers. Earlier, we talked about sexual child molesters, rapists, and those. These are all predators. I've had so many women call me up, so many young men email me, contact me, and say, I appreciate you bringing this up. I was raped by my uncle. I was raped by my cousin. Even on the female side, my auntie used to make me give her oral sex. These are the things I'm getting. And nobody did anything. The whole family looked the other way. These are the predator Pookies we're dealing with. We ain't talking about, it's not just outside your house, it's inside your house. And as far as D-boys, you got D-boys right now, inside your house. The problem then is also this. You celebrate them. I always talk about the simp chip. Some of y'all got a swine chip. That swine chip in the back of your mind forces you to gravitate towards filth. I'm not the first person to say that. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that first, and then came the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan who said that. And I'm not even a Muslim. Then I can tell you that's truth. Crying and mad because somebody is calling you out for your filthy behavior. That's what we're supposed to do in civilized society. If you want to be an animal, go live in the woods. Ain't no rules out there. Kill or be killed. Only the strongest survive. But in society, especially black society, when I got to live next door to you, we're going to talk about this because there's no escaping it. All you black folks that tried to move out the hood, now you live right goddamn next door to Pookie. He came out there, didn't he? See, a lot of people say, well, Pookie got rich and stayed in the hood. Pookie got rich and moved next to them white folks. In August 1986, the San Jose Mercury News initiated an extended series of articles linking the CIA's Contra Army to crack cocaine epidemic in Los Angeles. Based on a year-long investigation, reporter Gary Webb wrote that during the 1980s, the CIA helped finance its covert war against Nicaragua's leftist government through sales of cut-rate cocaine to South Central LA drug dealer Ricky Ross. We uplift this dude, don't we? Y'all uplift this dude. We got entertainers named Rick Ross. This is what we do. This is that swine chip. You romanticize the criminal element. Hell, we'll even take the criminal element from other people's cultures. Some of y'all got pictures of Scarface up on your goddamn wall, and not even the real Scarface, Alphonse Capone. You got pictures of the actor Al Pacino, who played Scarface in the movie that came out in 1981. You gravitate towards swine. You're filthy in your mind. That's your problem. And that's what we're going to eradicate. Because see, if we can get you black men and women to stop thinking like swine, then this whole Pookie and Ray Ray fantasy that you have will die. And we can go back to being the people that the Most High wanted us to be. As the brother said, and let me run him back again, because I don't think y'all missed that. That was a very important. Anytime you got the brothers in the Nation of Islam and the Hebrew Israelites and Donald Trump all agreeing to the same thing, that means something. Okay? That means a lot. All of them are saying we need to get rid of these dope dealers with extreme prejudice. That's what all of them are saying. I'll run that back another time. But the bottom line is, family, while much of the CIA Contra drug story had been revealed in years in the press and in congressional hearings, the Mercury News series added a crucial missing link. It followed the cocaine trail to Ross and black LA gangs who became street-level distributors of crack, a cheap and powerful form of cocaine. The CIA's drug network Webb opened the first pipeline between Colombia's cocaine cartels and the black neighborhoods of Los Angeles, a city now known as the crack capital of the world. Black gangs use their profits to buy automatic weapons, sometimes from one of the more CIA-linked drug dealers. So let me help you guys understand. I grew up in the 1970s, in the 80s. We used to live off of like 48th and Long Beach on the east side of LA, and then we moved to the west side. As a young boy, growing up in the 70s, born in the early mid 70s, I guess, it We didn't have gangsters out there with automatic weapons. Dudes would thump, they would box, they would fight it out. Somebody might have a few pistols or something every now and then. You know, they'll shoot it out, they'll stab each other up. But it wasn't until the crack cocaine and the money that flowed from the crack cocaine came to the hood, the dudes was able to start buying these automatic weapons with no training, no understanding of what these weapons are supposed to be used for, what their capacity was. They start circulating in the neighborhood. So what happened? You got dudes shooting, spray and pray, shooting up whole neighborhoods. Little girls getting shot, little boys getting shot, old people getting shot. Before that, the black gangs were not necessarily the problem. They didn't have any money, they were kids. And here's the thing you got to understand about gangs. I don't know why the rest of the world romanticizes gangbang. That's something we did, and I saw it in the 13, 14, 15, you kind of grow out of that. Because you go to high school, you got basketball, you got football. You know what I'm saying? You're not gangbanging no more as a grown-ass man. That's a low-level hustle. Ain't no money in it. I grew up around real killers, real OGs that looked down on gangbangers who were still gangbanging after they got a certain age. Like, son, go get a hustle, be a booster, do something. Do something. Hell, wash cars. I don't care what you do, but gangbanging, ain't no money in that. They literally looked down on the gangbangers at a certain age. It was child's play. It was something that children did. Now you got dudes who are 40 or 50 years old still gangbanging? That's stupid. You're supposed to mature. When you get in high school, you gangbang, yeah, you hang out a little bit. I never gangbang. I never claimed to simp. I used to hang out with the homies down the street. They was cool. We shot craps. You know, they was there. I was there. Wasn't nothing to do. It's not like they had a whole lot of activities in the black community. We was cool. They knew my family. They knew not to fuck with me because they knew my Uncle Slim and all the hitters was at my house or my grandma's house. So it wasn't no problems. They did business together. I don't know. I'm a kid. I didn't have no problems. And at a certain point, something happened, and I was no longer hanging out with them anymore because I had to side with my family. It's a long story. It's in my book. Read about it. But the bottom line is what I'm saying is it grows. It's something you grow out of. But now with the influx of drugs and money, it's become monetary. So they monetize the gangbanging or they monetize the drug dealing and the killing and all of that kicked up all that hell that we got to deal with. So beginning in the 1970s and the 1980s with the rise of cocaine, you know, whose cost gave it an aura of being a glamour drug for the filthy, for the rich and powerful. Remember, that's what cocaine was at first. It was some white folks, you know, oh, this is a big deal. It made it inaccessible for most low-income Black Americans, you know, who may wanted to use cocaine because they saw movies like what's the name of that goddamn movie from the 1970s, man? One of those black exploitation where the dude had the coke spoon. It was glamorized. You see? And I'm gonna talk about that too. I'm gonna talk about allowing the media to control you like that, but we'll get to that later on. So you can't keep blaming the media for everything. But again, movies like that, I think, what was it called, man? What was the name of the movie that came out in the 70s where the dude had the coke spoon around his neck? Not Scarface, man. It was another movie. Can't remember. It'll come to me later on. But bottom line is movies like that glamorize cocaine, right? And then, but see, it took a turn when dealers started stealing crack cocaine into cocaine, powder cocaine into crack. And it became cheaper and more potent. And that became an immediate substance abuse sensation. People got addicted to it because you smoke it and you was addicted to it. But for long, you had the entire urban communities, which were already struggling with unemployment, poverty, and crime. Now they were decimated by the scourge of crack. which was perpetrated by those same young black men and women who saw an opportunity to profit from others' suffering, and they became instant millionaires. These are sellouts. I mean, they knew they were getting the dope from the CIA informants. They were getting the guns from the CIA informants. When has the CIA ever been the friend of a black man? And I want to dig in. There's a lot to it, but let me go ahead and do this. Hit the number 1 button. That's the opening. I want y'all to listen to this. Now, allowing these degenerate criminals to remain among us, who have proved themselves as traitorous for their willingness to sell crack cocaine and heroin to their own people, is a no-go in Black America that we're trying to build. Black men who are fathers and patriarchs are not willing to live next door to these roaches. And since there's nowhere to go, Pookie must die. Now, here's the thing. When the CIA presented Pookie with the opportunity to make money, even knowing that it would destroy the black community, they jumped on the opportunity. Pookie is a predator, and he is no better than the Africans that sold us into slavery, knowing what type of hell we were going to have to deal with. And I know that's painful for y'all to hear, but your African brothers, just like these dope dealers, knew exactly what they were doing. Some of them had come over to Africa and come back. They had come over as slaves and come back. Some of these dope dealers were on drugs and had lost everything. Some of them sold dope just to support their habit, but they kept doing it. So Pookie, as I said, you can't stop making excuses for him. These drug dealing predators were responsible for the second greatest genocide amongst African people in America, second only to the transatlantic slave trade. Pookie is the reason that black men and women from Compton and South Central LA and Inglewood and Brooklyn have abandoned the old black neighborhoods, and it's been taken over by other races. Pookie didn't get rich, and here's the crazy thing. People say Pookie got rich and came back to the hood. That's a goddamn lie. Pookie moved his punk ass out to where the rich white folks were. Otherwise, he moved to where the black folks were to escape from the hell that he had caused in the black community. Where did he end up? Well, in places like Southern California, he moved out to places like Lancaster, California, and Palmdale, California, where black people who wanted to get out of that ghetto hellhole that they had created left. And now guess what Pookie is doing right now? Pookie is preying on the same black people that tried to get away. So there's no escape from Pookie. Wherever you go, Pookie will show up. He's just like the roach that I've been calling him. Hit the number 1 button, family. Make sure you hit the number 1 button. Now, to you Pookie defenders, let me explain something to you, man. Once a sellout, always a sellout. Pookie is compromised. This is what you got to understand. Hell, let me tell you something about Pookie. Pookie can't even run his own household. What do I mean by that? Pookie's an ex-con. He can't get a passport. He ran that motherfucker with a dirty t-shirt on right now. That's why he's anti-save yourself black man. He wants you to stay here and die with him. He got a fat, out-of-shape, aggressive woman who's overbearing, and he's probably a goddamn feminist himself, a male feminist, which is the lowest form of man that you can have. He's the biggest simp in America, just like the prisoners. And why are prisoners the biggest simps? Who you think is bringing them stuff into prison, putting money on their books? That's why they have to damn near worship women. They have to, because the women bring them what they need. They're the only ones that support them, period. And that's right. That was the movie Superfly. Movies like Superfly help glamorize that bullshit ass drug life. Now, so Pookie's compromised. So you already know he it's only so far he can go. Now, here's another thing. Some of y'all say Pookie is part of the warrior class. Pookie can't be part of the warrior class. He can't be a soldier because he stands for nothing. He can be bought off with ease. He's not even for his own people. That's not somebody you want to go to war with. Pookie will sell you out for a Snicker bar and a bag of potato chips. He has no integrity. He can be bought off by the enemy at any time.
Pookie is a predator. And he is a mercenary at best. Now, let me tell you again, because some of y'all get confused. When I'm talking about these predator Pookies, I am not talking about poor people who live in the hood or live in the black community. I am not talking about hard-working black men who have jobs, blue-collar jobs. That's not who the hell I'm talking about. See, these Pookies want to hide behind you. They purposely miss what the hell I'm saying because it's convenient. Because they want y'all to say, see, he talking about us. No, I'm talking about your punk predator ass. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about your ass, your opportunistic sellout ass. That's what you're too weak to get your own goddamn job. I need to do this to get my family. I'm talking about your ass. You know just who I'm talking about. That's who I'm talking about. Another thing, Pookie's not only is he a predator, but he is the biggest snitch in the black community, second only to the lovely ladies. See, the cops have too much on him. He has to cooperate. They're compromised. They got 1 strike, 2 strikes, some of them on probation. The cops literally let them boys out to sell dope, and then they can reel them in anytime they want to. They catch them behind closed doors. They meet them in alleys. These are the informants. All these so-called dope boys that y'all look up to, these are snitches. Pull their records. The same dudes you did out there doing business with each other, selling dope, they informing on the other ones. That's how the police know so much about your criminal activities. All decent, hardworking, law-abiding, blue-collar, and professional class black men agree that romanticizing this degenerate criminal behavior in the black community has been a detriment to us all. And as I said before, you can't escape Pookie because Pookie gonna move right next door to you. There's nowhere to go. So in this regards, Pookie must die. Now here's another one. Y'all always love to say this shit. The talented 10th sold out the black community. Let's talk about this for a minute. Let's be logical. Can we have a logical conversation? Because I like logic. I like logic and facts. That's the thing that I like the most. I like logic and facts. So let's think logically, okay? The talented 10th, where did that come from? Where did that come from? Tell me about that concept. I'll give you a hint. W.B. Du Bois. All right? That's where it came from. What was he taught? When did W.B. Du Bois live? Because y'all like catchphrases, but y'all don't really understand it. And you seem not to want to put it in context. What did the talented 10th mean? Huh? What did that mean? Come on. Hit the number 1 button if you hear me. I act like y'all not hearing what I'm saying. I don't, where y'all at though? Where the Pookie defenders at? Where the Pookie defenders at? Come on in. I want to see you in the comment section. Where are all the Pookie defenders at? What did W.B. Du Bois mean by the talented 10? The term that designated the leadership class of African Americans in the 20th century, the term was created by white Northern philanthropists, then publicized by W.B. Du Bois in an influential essay, the same name which he published in 1903. So basically, this is 1903 talk right here. What was going on with black folks in 1903? What were the circumstances that black people were under in 1903? Slade, let me give you a hint, because some of y'all, you don't study history. We just got out of slavery in 1865. So you're looking at 35 years later. About 10 years after slavery, 75-ish, Reconstruction ended. And so we was catching hell because these white folks was trying to put us back in our place. So what was going on in 1903? You had a couple of black folks. What was the poverty rate of black people in 1903? How do you think we were living in 1903? Do you think we had 60% of black men in the middle class at that time? Huh? Was it 60% of black men in the middle class are rich at that time? So why, okay, so if the circumstances have changed, family, why are we comparing something that was going on, a concept used in 1903, to the circumstances that apply right now in 2022, over 120 years later? Explain that to me. How does that work? How does that match? Do you put horseshoes on a Ferrari? No, you don't, because it doesn't apply. You put Pirellis or something like that on a Ferrari. It doesn't apply anymore. You're talking about something from 120 years ago. How old is this country? It's not even 300 years old. The talented 10th concept doesn't apply. And if it does apply, well, let's look at it then. We are some of the richest black people in the world. Black men and women in America have more wealth than all the other groups of black African people of African descent around the world. So all of us are the motherfucking talented 10th. Period. So who is the talented 10th? How does that even apply now, 120 years later? Okay, you know what it is? Maybe it's everybody with a college degree. Everybody with a college degree is a talented 10th. Is that what you all are saying? So you took your ass over there and got a degree in, I don't know, home ec studies or something like that. You are part of the talented 10th? You think you can tell me more than a master plumber or a master electrician? Is that what you're telling me? I'm looking for leadership on how to build this building. I'm gonna go to this young lady who majored in Black history economics, as opposed to going to this brother who owns a construction company. Is that that's what y'all telling me? Huh? The talented 10. Everybody who's with a college degree is in the talented 10. I don't see logic and facts when you start inserting these in these emotional arguments that people throw out. It kind of falls short. Let's try another one. Everybody who is in a Greek letter fraternity is in the talented 10th. Is that right? Is that what y'all saying? Everyone who is in a Greek letter fraternity is in the talented 10th. Everybody. We all are talented 10th. And I'm getting to the point because, see, they like to say the talented 10th needs to save us. They're the Boule, Cherokee 151. They're the Boule. They need to save us. Do you know what Boule means? I thought Boule was like a Creole dish down in New Orleans. Let me get some of that Boule with some goddamn, what's that, garlic bread and a Sprite. Thank you very much. Let me get some of that Boule. Are you fucking kidding me? See, everybody in a fraternity, a Greek letter fraternity, because see, some of y'all like to miss things, right? You miss shit. You miss convenient shit. You're hard of hearing. You don't listen, right? You don't listen. Greek fraternity. No, it's Greek letter fraternity. I could put English letter fraternity. Does that make me English? Huh, motherfucker? I could put, I don't know, Roman numeral fraternity. Does that make me a fucking Roman? No, Greek letter fraternity. You're hard of hearing. You're hard of hearing. Greek letter. Alpha, beta, gamma, delta. Greek letter fraternity. We're not Greek. Okay? Shaquille O'Neal is not Greek. He's a big, tall African who is a member of Omega Psi Phi. Okay? Michael Jordan is not Greek. He's another big African who's a member of Omega Psi Phi. Martin Luther King was not a Greek. He was a black man from Georgia, and he was a member of Alpha Phi Alpha. Johnny Cochran was not a Greek. He was a black man from Louisiana, and he was a member of Kappa Alpha Psi. Are we clear? But all of them, they Boule, right? They all against you. All of them, they're against your ass, right? They sold us out. Is that what you're saying? But this is what I don't understand. If everybody with a college degree is Boule, What about all these men who are members of the Masons? I don't think you need a college degree for that. All these dudes that go in and out of jail and prison and all that that don't make sense to me. Because I don't think you have to have a college degree to be a Mason. But they boule too, right? You don't need, but make that make sense. But here's another. How did they sell you out? How did the people with college degrees and Greek letter fraternity shirts on sell you out? Did they shoot and kill thousands of black men and women in the black community over the past 60 years? Did they do that to you? Or was that these predator-ass Pookie and Ray Ray motherfuckers that sold out to the CIA? I need to know this. Help me understand. Help me understand. Help me understand what you're talking about. I need to know. How did they sell you out? Did they sell you into slavery? And there's another one. You know, you say the black community abandoned, you say the so-called talented 10th, they abandoned the black community. Well, when did this happen? When did the boule / Greek letter fraternity / Masons / what else y'all got? Everybody with a college degree. When did all these black folks abandon the black community? When did this happen? What year was it? Give me the year that they abandoned the black community. Because see, segregation ended in 1955. And up until that point, we was all together. Isn't that true? Because the law said you Negroes got to stay together. So you had black doctors and lawyers and engineers and plumbers. They all live next to each other. They all live next to, at least we know that by law. So what happened then? Did they move out in the 70s and 80s? Is that when it happened? Is that when it happened? That's when the black community was abandoned? Well, what the hell was going on in the 70s and 80s? Huh? The motherfucking Pookie predators start selling hard drugs in the community and destroying it. And so that's why they left the black community. That is why. Do you get the point now? It all goes back to these predator Pookies. And this is why only a fool would stand shoulder to shoulder with someone who has already proven themselves, number one, that they can be bought off. And number two, that they can't be trusted. And that they'll destroy whatever they get into. And it's a mentality that we need to kill. You wonder why there hasn't been a mass exodus back to Africa? You wonder why? Because black people innately know that, God damn it, y'all sold us into slavery once. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. We're not stupid. We're not going back into that. So why would we allow these Pookies to come back? Why would we now, number one, they move next door to us. Number two, what? It's going to happen again. Period. This is where we at, fam. So either we're going to die or Pookie is going to die. Y'all have to make a decision. But for all you Pookie defenders, all you predator defenders, and let me say this again because y'all hard-headed. You don't listen. When I talk about these Pookie predators, I'm talking about people who prey upon other people in the black community. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about sexual rapists, child molesters, men, women, and boys. I'm talking about these motherfucking robbing ass, carjacking ass people. I'm talking about people who break in people's houses. I'm talking about drug dealers. Okay? That's what I'm talking about. And that's what we're talking about today. So we're going to eliminate all your little punk ass excuses today. We're not talking about hardworking people who happen to live in the hood. We're not talking about your shiftless ass cousin who want to sleep at home all day. His ass just needed a foot in his ass in the job. As long as he's not out there preying on people and hurting other black people and women and children and men and making our lives hard, He's not bothering me. His ass is just lazy. He missed some manhood lessons. But let's go dig into a little bit deeper, because y'all need to understand something that I don't think you understand. Let's talk about my brothers. You guys recognize these gentlemen? Huh? Who is that? Who are these men? The Black Panther Party for Self-Defense. Do you guys know about that? Huh? Black Panther Party, cocaine as a weapon to destroy the Panthers. Did you guys know that? Let me tell you a story. So there was once a man named J. Edgar Hoover, and he came up with a program called COINTELPRO, right? For the maximum, here are the goals of the program called COINTELPRO. For maximum effectiveness of the counterintelligence program and to prevent wasted effort, long-range goals are being set. To prevent the coalition of militant Black nationalist groups in unity, their strength and truism that is no less valid for all its triteness. An effective coalition of Black nationalist groups might be the first step towards real Mau Black Revolutionary Army in America. The beginning of the true Black Revolution. Prevent the rise of a Messiah. What the hell does that mean? What we're looking at is what the government in the United States was thinking about, the CIA, the FBI, right after the rise of Dr. Martin Luther King. Remember, King had been assassinated. Malcolm had been assassinated. White folks was catching hell, okay? They was catching hell, said, we got to stop this shit. We cannot let these Negroes rise up again against us. So what are we going to do? Well, what we're going to do is we're going to undermine their base. Okay, that's what we're gonna do, because from that base of people, Black people, that's where that Black Messiah is gonna rise up from. You see, and he could unify and electrify the militant Black nationalist movement. Malcolm X might have been such a Messiah. He is a martyr of the movement today. Martin Luther King, Stokely Carmichael, Elijah Muhammad all aspire to the position. Elijah Muhammad is less of a threat because of his age. King could be a very real contender for this position should he abandon his supposed obedience to white liberal doctrine, nonviolence, and embrace Black nationalism. Carmichael has the necessary charisma to be a real threat in this way. Prevent violence on the part of Black nationalist groups. These are the goals. These are the goals right here, man. This is what the FBI was thinking about. This is what they were doing. Now wait till we get to the good part, right? Prevent violence on part of Black nationalists. This is a primary importance, is of course a goal of investigative activity. It should also be the goal of counterintelligence program to pinpoint potential troublemakers and neutralize them before they exercise their potential violence. Prevent Black nationalist groups and leaders from gaining respectability, discrediting them to three separate segments of the community. The goal of discrediting Black nationalists must be handled tactically in three ways. You must discredit the groups and individuals to, first, responsible Negroes. Them some crazy niggas. Y'all need to leave them alone. You see what I'm saying? You need to leave them alone. You say? You gotta leave them alone. Number two, second, they must be discredited to the white community. Oh, we can't mess with those type of Negroes. Yeah, we're liberals and we love Blacks, but can't do it. Third, these groups must be discredited in the eyes of the Negro radicals. Even the crazy, like, them Negroes is too goddamn crazy. All right, so that was the goal. Final goal should be to prevent the long-range growth of militant organizations, especially among the youth. Specific tactics to prevent groups from reverting young people must be developed. And now guess what they did? Huh? What do you think they did? Huh? In preventing the rise of the Black Messiah. Huh? First of all, they killed all our leaders and they saturated the hood with dope. And guess who helped them? With they punk asses. These Pookie predators that y'all look up to all the goddamn time. That's what happened. That's what happened. And you blaming the goddamn talented 10th and some dudes with some Greek letters on their shirt for this shit? What fucking idiots are we? How long are Black Americans gonna be that goddamn stupid that we still, instead of accepting this shit on your chest and saying, you know what, we need to clean up this black community. It's on us to do it. But let's keep reading. See, some of y'all, this is another thing I trip out about. Do you know who Huey P. Newton was? Do you know who Bobby Seale was? Let's look him up, because y'all don't believe it. Y'all don't believe it. I want to slide down a little bit here. Just slide down here. Bobby Seale. Listen to this man. Okay? He studied at Merritt Community College, where he studied engineering and politics. Did you know that? Did you know he was an educated man? You dumb motherfuckers. Did you know that? What about Huey P. Newton, the founders? I'm talking about the founder. These are the revolutionaries. This is the true warrior class. Do you know who Huey Percy Newton was? Do you know who he was? Have you bothered to look? According to you dumb motherfuckers, he was an educated lame. He also went to Merritt College. He continued his education at San Francisco Law School and the University of California, Santa Cruz, where he got his PhD. And was a member of Phi Beta Sigma. You dumb motherfuckers. So he was Greek letter fraternity. And he was an educated man. So these are the founders. This is the warrior class. We're talking about Bobby Seale and Huey P. Newton. These are educated lanes. You can't rely on no uneducated sellout who's willing to sell dope to his own people to defend you. These are educated men. And on top of that, Bobby Seale's had a military background. You dumb motherfuckers. And I'm sorry, but I'm tired of the ignorance. And sometimes I got to cuss because otherwise it doesn't matter. I hate that I have to speak to you like this. Yes, Huey P. Newton studied law. Let's go back. Studying at San Francisco Law School and the University of California at Santa Cruz. How do you know he knew all that smart shit to say to the cops about what his rights were? How do you think he knew that? You think he got that in some fucking penitentiary somewhere learning prison babble? That's what y'all think, huh? You rely on all these prison babblers. These were intelligent, educated men who took pride in what they did and what they said. According to you stupid motherfuckers, these were educated lames. This is what you do. You wonder why we haven't rose up again as black people? Because you keep ostracizing the educated men who would and calling them lame and dumbass shit like that. Only a fool would do something that goddamn stupid. Who ostracizes the best of the best from their tribe? The most intelligent. That's right. Huey P. Newton did get his PhD from Santa Cruz. These are the founding members of the Black Panther Party. And again, Huey P. Newton was a member of Phi Beta Sigma, prominent member thereof. So he was in a Black Greek letter fraternity. He was, according to y'all, he was a Black Greek. Huey knew he wasn't no goddamn Greek. The cops let him know he wasn't Greek. He was in a fraternity that uses Greek letters to denote their fraternity. They could call themselves, I don't know, Roman numeral fraternities. But see, you don't listen. You hear what the fuck you want to hear. Y'all like bad children, some of y'all. You hear what you Greek letter fraternity. They abandoned us. The talented 10th. You just rattling off shit you heard somewhere. Some of you heard somewhere in a goddamn PBS special. But let's continue. So the leaders of these men were intelligent men, educated men. Let's start with that. These are the men that led all these people. These are their leaders. Now, what happened to the Black Panther Party? What do y'all think happened? They opened up their ranks, and then guess what happened? Let's read it. By 1976, the Black Panther Party had been destroyed by way of shootouts with the police, internal conflicts with other groups, assassination of leaders, prison sentences, and so on. Although the party remained somewhat functional, it was no longer the force that had caused the FBI director, Edgar J. Hoover, to call it the most dangerous internal security issue in the U.S. Thus, the corporal intelligence program of the FBI had been successful. The aftermath was systematic crackdown on people with Black Panther views and ideology. Many Panthers were killed and fled the country in this period, and authorities began to focus their attention on armed Black youths who had learned to carry weapons from the Panthers. The U.S. government, through the mafia, listen, these same people you around there calling yourself goddamn Corleone and shit, you dummy. They don't give a shit about your black ass. You like Michael Corleone and shit. The U.S. government, through the mafia, that's the Italian mafia, that don't give a shit about your black ass, introduced and accelerated the trade of hard drugs like cocaine and heroin in the Black communities in the same period. Are you starting to see what's happening here? Are you starting to see what's happening? Are you starting to see the link? Before long, the Blacks had reason to kill each other over drug deals, a continued epidemic which is rife in the Black communities of the U.S. this day. Do you see where Pookie got his start? Pookie got his start because he was in cahoots with the CIA and the FBI. Do you get that now? These people who you uplift like Rick Ross and all these other drug dealers, do you see what you're dealing with now? These are the sellouts of your community, and you defending these predators. Heroin and crack cocaine. Do you get this? See, y'all playing with this shit, and we're going to go on for another 2 or 3 generations until we deal with it like men. Until we deal with this and face it and recognize what it is, nothing's going to change, fam. So let's read some more. Are y'all enjoying yourself? Is this a pleasant day with Uncle D? Y'all having a good time? I hope you're enjoying the reading. Huh? A little bit profane. Let me see. My man said Edwin Meese, Ronald Reagan's attorney, was Huey P. Luton's law professor and had high praise in academic achievement while he was in school. Yes, Huey P. Newton was an educated man. That's how he knew all those laws. That's why he wasn't afraid of running up on the police like he was, because he knew what his rights were. You scary ass Pookie and Ray Ray motherfuckers are the ones scared of the police because you don't know your goddamn rights. And on top of that, you got all them motherfucking warrants and shit. You don't even want them pulling you over. People who aren't compromised don't give a shit about the police pulling them over. Those Pookie and Ray Ray is not your fucking warrior class. They're too goddamn dumb to be a fucking warrior. They need to be led, but you can't lead somebody who'll turn their back on you. They've already proved that they'll sell out. Why would you trust somebody who'll sell you out? Who's proven that they will sell you out for dope? That makes no common sense. You want Pookie and Ray Ray on the front lines? You want Pookie and Ray Ray to defend you? Predator Pookie, who just sold your sister and your mom and your brother crack cocaine? Now you're going to go over here to get him to fight the same white man that gave him the crack cocaine and the guns? That's who you want. He'll turn his own mama in for fucking $5 $20, $30. This is who you want to defend you. This is your warrior class. That's a weak ass warrior class. Shaka Zulu would not approve. I can tell you that one goddamn for damn sure. He'll slice their fucking throats. They sellouts. You don't go to war with people who are already compromised, family. You don't do it. Period. Now, guess what? Guess when the Black Panther Party started deteriorating? When do y'all think that happened? The FBI started infiltrating. Guess who they start putting in there? They start sending convicts and ex-criminals and drug dealers and motherfuckers saying that they was reformed. And guess what they start doing? Selling drugs and shit while acting as Black Panthers. That's how they began to turn the people against them. That's what they did. That's how they began to turn the people against them. Them same motherfucking Pookies joined the Black Panther Party and start doing Predator Pookie shit. And that's what undermined the Black Panther Party. And you want us to stand next to these motherfuckers? You say we need them? I don't need a motherfucking Pookie next to me. He needs his motherfucking throat slit. He's a fucking traitor. He on the other side. Period. Pookie, sell your ass out. These Predator Pookies, these same, you sell your motherfucking ass out in a heartbeat. Period. Now, come on, let's talk about this history. Who wants to come in for the smoke, baby? I got all the smoke for you. I got some more facts for your ass. So we'll take a quick break. I'm going to put the link in the chat room, and I'm going to come back on your asses in a minute. Let's talk about it. Hey, if you're enjoying the content here at Dennis Sperling Unfiltered, make sure you support it by sharing, and subscribing to the channel. And also, hit that little notification bell in the corner so that you'll get notice of each and every one of our live feeds. Hey, what's up, everybody? If you appreciate the format and you appreciate what we're doing here, then make sure you contribute to the Cash App, make sure you contribute to the PayPal, make sure you donate to the Super Chat. It's only you and your contributions that keep this thing going. Thanks. All right, we are back. Where are all the Pookie defenders at? Come on, Pookie defenders. I got all these facts and logic for you. I want y'all to come on in and let's talk. Where are all the Pookie defenders? All y'all who want to say, oh no, Pookie, Pookie is our warrior class. I got evidence. Pookie ain't shit. Pookie's a fucking traitor. Pookie's a sellout. Huh? Pookie ain't. Come on, let's talk about it. Come on, come on in, y'all. Where we at? Yeah, let's talk about it. I can't wait. Let's talk. Come on and defend the sellout so you can expose yourself for who you are. Because anybody who's willing to defend a traitor to the Black community, you're a traitor. And you might want to be careful because we're going to start looking at you the same way we're looking at the Pookies and the Ray Rays. And again, since y'all hard of hearing, when I say Pookie and Ray Ray, when I talk about Pookie predators, I'm talking about people who prey on the Black community. I'm not talking about your shiftless ass daddy who won't get up and go to work. Okay? I'm not talking about your daddy, your uncle who won't pay his child support. That's not who I'm talking about. I'm talking about drug dealers and child molesters and rapists and carjackers. I'm saying it quiet because I know my tone. Many of y'all haven't had a daddy in your life. And so this loud, aggressive tone, you know, this scares you. That's what a predator is. Predators. They prey on people. Okay. So come on in. Come on, let's talk. Let's talk about what these Pookies did to the Black Panther Party. Let's talk about you Black folks who romanticize. Everybody in the chat room, all of y'all can get the smoke because y'all have been romanticizing this Pookie criminality. Y'all got albums and CDs and tapes and shit and your goddamn cell phones right in your playlist. You got dope dealing rappers that broadcast that shit right in there. I know you do. So don't. Yeah, you're a Pookie supporter. You might not be a Pookie defender, but you can help Pookie rise. So come on, I'm saying, I got smoke for everybody. Come on. But you know, the one hope for you, okay, it's not that you committed genocide. You hadn't sold crack cocaine and heroin and all these different things to us. Good thing for you. You just been listening to the tape. Like the Bible says, you know, when you was a child, you did as a child. You thought as a child. But now as you're an adult, you think as an adult. Period. So keep that in mind. Now I'm saying all this with love. But look, we got to get y'all in here. Come on in with the, let's talk. I want to talk about where the people who say the educated lames are not, you know, they're not the warrior class. I want to make sure they know that Bobby Seals was an educated lame. I want to make sure they know that this man, this brilliant black freedom fighter right here, I want you to know. Let's come on in. Where did he go to? Y'all, maybe y'all missed that part. So where he went to Merritt College, community college, where he studied engineering and politics. How about that? He was also in the United States Air Force. And you don't get in the Air Force by being a dumbass. Let me just say that now. Period. All right. Keep it 100. Talk to me, Mr. Keep It 100.
What's going on, brother?
I'm having a motherfucking party on these motherfuckers today, man. Y'all got me in rare form. I'm liberated and free as a motherfucker. I ain't got shit to do all day but pick these kids up. So let's go. Where they at? Where they at, bro? I want to know where the Pookie defenders at, the Predators. Let me ask you this. Do you understand what I say when I'm talking about Pookie Predators? Because it seems like people don't want to hear what I'm actually saying. You know what I mean when I say Pookie Predators?
The term that I like to use is thug. And if you look up thug, by definition, thug is defined by, you know, a violent criminal individual. I think
it's not just violent. I'm talking about predators.
No, I got you, but a predator is violent, isn't he?
Well, I'm talking. Let's go by my definition. Let's talk about Pookie predators.
Okay.
Because see, people seem to not want to hear what I'm. See, there's been a Pookie and Ray Ray debate. I wasn't here for that.
Mm-hmm.
I was, you know, still practicing and enjoying life and on vacation and shit. But I would hear from time to time, and I'm like, damn, why are they vilifying black men who go get education and call them lames and boule and talented 10? That's stupid. Why would we do that? That makes no sense. And then come to find out, it's a bunch of low-life motherfuckers who just got out of prison with dirty T-shirts on, who like to hide behind their icons without seeing their face. They want to talk bad about educated black men who come into the manosphere. Or I don't know what I just got a YouTube page. And then I got drafted into the motherfucking manosphere. I don't know how this shit happened. I've even told them, look, nigga, I'm for getting married and having kids, and I ain't really into all of that shit. I'll listen to you. You see what I mean? But I wouldn't want you not to have kids. But since you dragged me in, here I am. You see what I'm saying? I'm here for it. Like, you know how some days you fuck with the wrong person? You know what I'm saying? I'm the one that they probably should have left the fuck alone. Because I ain't got nothing but time. I got all motherfucking day and facts and history. But these Pookies seem to not like the fact that black men like Dr. Tiasan Johnson, the Green Gorilla, Kevin Samuels, Dr. Ronald Neal, people like the lead attorney, they don't like the fact that we're in here.
Yo, you naming all my boys.
Go ahead.
You naming all my people. That's all my
people.
Yeah,
and I don't they understand that other well-educated black men like to listen to other well-educated black men? We don't want to hear all that motherfucking prison babble all the time. The niggas complain about their bitches. Don't they realize, like, we don't want to hear all that shit? I don't have a problem with women. I'm always interested in chasing money and power, and that's why I don't have a problem with women. Take a lesson. That's why I don't give dating advice. If you chase money and power, you'll have women. You don't need to do that other shit. You don't have to have no motherfucking game. You ain't got to say a motherfucking thing. Women will smell success on your ass. You understand what I'm saying? That's why I don't give relationships.
I do.
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
I do understand what you're saying, but I mean, you know, first we gonna talk about Pookies. We'll get to women in a second because that's a that's a more complicated issue.
Jump on that. Go ahead, brother. I'm waiting.
Okay, so look, I'm black. We all from the hood. You know what I'm saying? I went to school the whole nine. I know what it is.
So you an educated lame according to the Pookies. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, I might be.
Boule. Let's name the name. Boule, educated lame, talented 10th. Let's go ahead.
I might be. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, this is what it is, brother. I know exactly what you're talking about when it comes to our culture. The guy that comes home from college is not as celebrated as the guy that comes home from jail. So I live that. You understand?
Well, see, that's not even what I'm talking about, right? But I hear you on that. But that's because we romanticize degenerate. We got a swine chip. It's right next to the simp chip. It's a swine chip in there. You see what I'm saying? And we gravitate towards degeneracy because that's how we were programmed. We were programmed by white supremacy racism to not think very much of ourselves and take less. And me trying to break that motherfucking swine chip is damn near as hard as trying to break this goddamn queen mother goddess simp chip. You understand?
So let me ask you a question. Since if that's the case, right? And I hear what you're saying. If that's the case, right? I do have a problem with guys in our spaces, our communities, our neighborhoods, being the predator that you're talking about. I do. But this ain't defense. I want to ask you a question.
We gonna see. Go ahead.
I want to ask you a question. Well, hey, look, because I got as much facts and logic as you do.
All right, I'm gonna get mine ready.
I want to ask you something, right? Men are human, right? Just like women are human, because I follow you on Facebook, and I don't know if you know who this is, but we debate a lot on Facebook.
Well, who is this?
This is Marcus Aurelius.
What's up, man? I really like when you was on there with Tia San Johnson and BGS Sysbm. But go ahead, brother.
No doubt. So what I'm saying is, because I've seen you make the argument, well, these women are not our enemy. They're just women, right?
Yeah.
So wouldn't the same apply to men to some degree?
No. Men lead, women follow.
Let me finish.
Go ahead. Well, I'm gonna cut you off. Go ahead, but you asked me a question, I'm gonna answer. Go ahead.
So we're all products of our environment, yes?
Yeah, but we're not gorillas and sheep and goats and shit. We're thinking human beings.
But yes, we are. And
we have the ability to change our environment. That's what separates us from the animals, brother.
So then women are human beings also, yes?
But women follow men.
No,
because we are men. We have the obligation to bend the environment to our will.
You can't change the you
no,
can't
no,
move
that's
the
I'm saying the same shit. What are you talking about?
You can't.
You telling me that we're like goats and sheep around this motherfucker?
No,
built skyscrapers and shit.
Let's not use goats.
We don't have air conditioning.
Let's not use goats and sheep. We're talking about men, but didn't move the goalpost. We're talking about women.
Women and men are different. They are not equal. Men are different than women. I don't know how we got on this subject. We on Pookie's ass today. But men and women are different. I believe in gender roles. I'm not one of these free gender motherfuckers.
A lot of these women
men and women. Go ahead.
A lot of them don't. But understand this, right? I will go as far as to say that the reason we have so many Pookies and Ray Rays is because of, dysfunction in our culture. And I feel like a lot of that is empowered by Black women. That's where I come from with it. Okay, so we're saying, because we talking about sheeps and goats. Understand the reason we're here in conjunction with white supremacy, you have Black women.
Okay, see, let me cut you off right now.
Go ahead.
Yes, the women hold the culture. The women pass the culture down. But are you gonna follow a bunch of women?
Oh, I don't have to follow anything.
No. I'm thinking general. I'm asking you generally as Black men, and are there 20 million Black men in the United States? Are we just gonna follow women and let them keep leading us down into the fucking sewer of society?
I will
elbow their ass out the way. What we gonna do, brother?
Our culture is matriarchal, bro.
Why in the fuck do you keep letting it be matriarchal then?
I don't let.
What kind of man are you?
Hold on.
No. I don't want to hear that shit. I'm tired of it. I'm fucking tired. Nope. Listen. Why do we keep letting women lead us?
We ain't letting nothing.
You're a fucking man. Act like a man. Push these bitches out the way. No, you listen. You elbow these bitches out the way, and you do what you have to do as a man.
Okay, then White Zaddy.
That's what I'm telling you to do.
In your place. See, this is
Yes.
white America.
You elbowed them. Okay, so do you think other men from other societies give a shit? Do you think other men from other societies give a shit?
Other men from other societies ain't getting the issue that we get.
They all getting a fucking issue.
No, not.
Yes,
the way
they are.
So
okay, so you make we're poor us. Poor little victim. We're poor victims.
So tell me,
that's a bitch mentality, brother. We got to get rid of that shit. We have got to get rid of that mentality.
Chinese.
That's what I'm talking about. There's nothing I can do. I'm such a victim. That's what I'm talking about, Marcus.
It's not about it. No, it's not about a victim.
For about 5 or 6 years. So this is just me and Marcus. Everybody in the audience, we still friends. But I'm gonna be on his ass because he don't get no breaks.
Hey, bring all the smoke.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So then we chose to be slaves then.
We chose to be. No, we fought every motherfucking chance we would get. You know, there was 100 and hold on, son. Hold on. There was 100. Listen, there was 160 slave rebellions. We didn't fucking choose that shit. We fought every chance we could get.
Okay, exactly.
And guess who sold us out?
Exactly.
The motherfucking sellouts.
So of course, absolutely.
Yes. Who benefited from what the white man was given, just like these Pookie and Ray ass.
I want you to understand this, bro.
Go ahead.
I want you to understand this.
Yeah.
I think that in our culture, we align education with being the sellout, but the sellout comes.
Who told you to do that, brother? Who told you that it was illegal for you to read?
No,
who told you that if you read, you would get killed? What do you think that comes from, man?
Let me make the point. See, this
you gotta hurry up and make these points, man. Anybody else supposed to come in, but I'm gonna open it up. But go ahead.
Things that you're saying that I absolutely agree with. I don't want you to get me wrong. Yeah. There's a lot of things that you're saying that are irrefutable.
But let's talk about what you don't agree with.
Okay, so let's talk about that. Right? What I'm saying is part and parcel with these. I like to call them thugs, Pookies, Ray Rays, whatever word you want to use. Like you said, you define them as the people who are the problem, not your lazy cousin, not the guy.
No, we talk about predators.
Yes, the predators.
The predator Pookies that make your life hard in the hood.
Exactly.
That lazy ass neighbor of yours that stay in the house all day, he don't make you want to move your shit and move out with the white folks.
No, sir.
Move to a suburb.
No,
see,
sir.
Black folks, let me go ahead. I want you to finish, but it's an important point I want to make.
So we on the same page with that, bro.
Yeah,
we on the same page. So I want to put that in the conversation that we on.
Why are so many people defending these Pookie predators? I don't get that. Why are these motherfuckers on the internet? Why are these motherfuckers? Hold on. Why are these motherfuckers saying, "Oh, we need to side with Pookie. Pookie's the warrior class"? And what about the talented 10? I heard motherfuckers say shit like, "Well, drug dealers, they're just like the goddamn CVS and Walgreens. They sell drugs too." Motherfucker, my grandma's heart blood pressure pills are not the same as giving fucking crack cocaine and heroin to a 10-year-old in a fucking Uzi and having them shooting up the block. I don't see the CVS drug workers coming outside the motherfucking back with dropping off fucking rocket launchers in Brooklyn. I don't see them doing that. I think there's a difference, but go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
So who you think is the biggest enabler of Pookie?
Black men, because we let them motherfuckers stand next to us.
I disagree with that.
We let them motherfuckers stand next to us, right? You know, in other countries they'll cut your fucking head off for that shit.
Black men don't run the black community.
Nigga, you run that motherfucker that's standing next to you selling crack cocaine to your daughter?
Black men don't run the black community.
Man, come on, bro. I don't want to hear that punk ass. We don't run the community no more, brother. You got to be a man and stand up and boot motherfuckers out the way. If you know it's in the bro, I'm so sick of this. It's like an illness.
It sounds
that we can't do anything. We're so weak. I'm tired of hearing that shit, man.
I said we don't. Right?
You take power away. Okay, you take power away, Marcus.
We are.
You don't. Sir,
we are a group of people.
Sir, you take
without a
power
country.
away.
We are men without a
Nobody's gonna give you power, Marcus.
I didn't
you
say
take
that.
what you want in this
okay.
world.
And we haven't done that. We haven't attempted to do that in the US. Understand, we are outgunned, outmanned.
You gotta learn. Nobody is going to give you anything in this world. The world belongs to whoever is strong enough to take it and hold on to it. You can't even run your own motherfucking community. You letting bitches tell. Listen, son. You letting bitches tell you what to do. I wish a bitch would try to tell me what the fuck to do, man. You don't let women tell you what to do, son. You push the ass. No, look. You go sit your ass down. I got this shit. That goes for your mama, your auntie, your sister, your daughter, all of them. You a fucking man and you need to start acting like men. Fuck the consequences, be damned. You claim your territory, you claim your house, you claim your community, you claim what's yours, man. You don't ask permission for what's yours.
So that's not happening.
Your motherfucking car, you gonna go ask the fucking thief if you can have it back.
There's never been a time in U.S.
That's
history
what kind of sense you making right now, Marcus.
There's never been a time in U.S. history where black men have not fought. Never a time in history. You know that. Never a time in U.S. history.
Brother, we've been fighting since we got here. I just told you about the 163 slave rebellions that have been documented.
Agreed.
We've been fighting. But
okay,
see,
we still fighting.
Some of you brothers are so fucking pussy whooped and so simping. You are fucking afraid of fighting these bitches.
Nobody.
You're so fucking weak-minded. You're so pussy. You want to keep these bitches happy with all this. You want to be validated. You're afraid to fight back. You're not man enough to put a bitch in her fucking place and say, I got it. And goddamn it, I promise you that's exactly what black women want. They want you to put them in their place. They're tired. Listen, son. Listen.
I'm the right one.
Listen.
Continue.
Listen. Black women are sick and tired of having to be the men in the black community.
No, they want to be.
No, you're not listening.
They want to be.
Son, they are sick and tired. No woman wants to be a fucking man, son. They popping pills, they getting drunk, they're eating too much because they're self-medicated, because they're tired of black men not standing up and pushing their ass out the way, and so that they can be women again.
Then why they not raising productive sons then?
Son, they want you to push them the fuck out the way and take your children back.
They're raising boys that can't read.
Son, they want you to take the children away from them and put them in their place.
Black women are standing between their
brother,
kids.
You know what? I don't really know what else to say to you. It sounds like you like to argue. I appreciate that. I'm telling you exactly what women want. They want you to put them in their place.
But the numbers don't say that.
Enough to do it. If you're not man enough to put a group of women in their place, how the fuck you think you're gonna deal with these white supremacists?
I don't have them problems personally. I'm talking about numbers.
But you don't have a woman?
No, I'm not saying that I don't have a woman. I'm talking about numbers.
Yeah.
I'm talking about all the black. You understand that black boys have a reading problem in this country, right?
Why is that, son?
Why is that? Because
why is that, brother? Why is that?
Out of the home.
Who's supposed to be the leaders of the black community?
Fathers are being pushed out.
Who is supposed to be the leaders of the black community?
So you tell. Hold on. So you.
Who is? I'm asking you a question. Who is supposed to be the leaders of the black community?
We're supposed to be.
Okay, well then do what you're supposed to do, brother.
Okay, but do we run the country,
son? God damn it, man.
Do you understand?
Okay, let me go to somebody else because I don't think this ain't going nowhere. This ain't going nowhere. Just chill for a minute. We're gonna let a couple other people in. We'll be right back to you. Full Metal Jacket. How you doing? Unmute yourself, sir.
I'm mute.
Good. Well, how you doing today, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. And Afro Nerd. Unmute yourself.
Okay.
Afro Nerd.
Yeah.
Afro Nerd.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
All right, Full Metal Jacket, what would you like to add to this conversation? Are you defending the Pookies? Maybe the talented is the talented 10th's fault. No, you think drug dealing is cool? Go ahead.
No, I was in the army, and when I got out the army, I went straight to college. Now I'm probably in the same boat or whatever, but I agree.
That's what it is.
I never, you know what? When women start talking that, wait, is we cussing today?
Cuss, man. Go ahead.
When women start talking that,
you gotta understand. I give Marcus Aurelius a hard motherfucking time because I've been going back to him for about 7 years. I'm not.
Sometimes you say, "Hey, watch your language." So, out of respect.
I don't
but no,
like the N word. I don't like that.
I don't like that word either.
But go ahead, feel free, brother. We in the bush.
Yeah, when women start talking that bullshit, I'll just be like, "All right, kick rocks." So I never even cared about that. But I will say this: your perspective, I agree with it. It's not practical because we don't have the numbers.
Bro,
there's not enough. What? Let me finish, brother. Let me finish. From the moment the black man is born.
No, you said something. 60% of black men in the middle class are rich. We do have the fucking numbers.
Okay. Everybody in the NBA and the NFL, they rich. And wait, hold on a second. They ignorant, ain't they?
Go ahead.
It's a lot of rich, ignorant brothers. Okay. But no, I'll say this. I do agree.
See,
but this is the one thing I say.
We talking about predators, brother. We talking about predators. We talking about men.
Dysfunctionality.
Listen. We talking about black. It's not ignorant. We're not talking about dudes who are ghetto. We're not talking about dudes who have gold teeth. We're not talking about dudes who sag they fucking pants. We're not talking about lazy motherfuckers that play video games and smoke weed all day. We are talking about predators. We are talking about drug dealers who got their start associating themselves with the CIA to destroy the black community, and they did it for money. They're sellouts. Just like them Africans that sold us into slavery, they're sellouts. These are the predators that we're talking about. We're not just talking about poor black men or women. You understand that? So let's not confuse them.
Totally understand. You got to have the infrastructure to deal with them, and just right now we don't. I agree with you.
You're telling me that you got a motherfucker that's selling your cousin is selling dope. He's a fucking D-boy, right? And you can't tell your people, I'm not fucking going over there. That nigga's a drug dealer. I'm not spending. Y'all want to be with him? Cool. I'm not fucking with him. I'm not giving you money to put on his books. I'm not giving him no presents. I'm not even gonna speak with him. I don't even want my children around. That's what you telling me? You don't have the power to do that?
No, that's what I do.
Okay.
That's the type of brother I am. Exactly. I remember one time if I didn't have family members come to me crazy. I'd just be like, hey, look, no, I don't get down with that. But let me say this.
Go ahead.
Let me say this. From the moment the black man is born, he's emasculated.
I don't want to hear no motherfucking excuses. Go ahead. I don't want to hear no motherfucking excuses.
Okay. He's effeminized by his mother. And what y'all like to call brother, let me finish my thought. I feel you. I agree. I agree with you. I totally agree. I'm saying that.
And people hate when I cut people off. I done heard this shit 100,000 times before. I'm tired of hearing the fucking excuses. If you know all these things, the black boy is under attack, he's being emasculized, all that, then it's your job to make sure you counteract that. That's what I'm saying. I done heard all it. It's like y'all talking to me and I already know the next shit you're gonna say. These are elementary arguments. I already got these answers. I done told you what you do. And that's why I cut people off, because we wasting time. We done talked for 40 or 50 years now. You already know what the fuck you got to do. If you got a son and he's being emasculized and effeminized by your woman, you got to take him, bring him out, do manly shit with him, let him see you hang out with other men so he can learn how he's supposed to interact with other men and how he's supposed to be with a man. That's what I'm saying, brother. You got to stop making excuses. Go ahead, give me.
Let me tell you my own history. I got out the army. My ex-wife was acting a fool. I got a divorce and I got full custody of my son. He's 19. He's 19. He's in his last semester of his associate's degree. He got a job. He ain't never been in trouble. I told him, I cannot let you be raised strictly by women.
Yeah. Now
that's look. Understand this. Understand this. I was in Germany for 5 years. I did not want to come back to America at all. Okay, and I was making money, contract. I was like, but I had to get my boy.
You had to come back.
I had to raise him, and I'm proud of him.
And see,
you know what I'm saying?
What I want to do is I want to eliminate these motherfucking Pookies from taking your son out. See, that's what I want to do.
No doubt.
I want to make it so uncomfortable for these predator ass motherfuckers who have been put up on pedestals and praised for their criminality. I want to make it so uncomfortable that they go somewhere and fucking die. That's what I want. That's what I want Pookie to do.
How do you? Let me ask
you understand what I'm saying? I want them.
That's why we got to check these bitches.
Brother,
because they are the catalyst. They are the catalyst for these Pookies and Ray.
How you gonna clean up somebody else's house and you ain't clean up your own house first? We talking about checking bitches and we got Pookie standing right next to us.
So how you want?
How does that work?
Counselor.
Want to do it?
Counselor.
Yeah, who is that? Is that Afro Nerd?
Yeah, the Afro Nerd. How you doing, Counselor?
Let's get Afro Nerd in here.
Okay, I have a couple of ideas. All right, that I don't hear people actually talking about.
Right.
Number one, let's give ourselves a round of applause for even having this conversation in public view and having such a thing called the Black Manosphere. Okay, that's number one. We need to start having.
Well, I've been put out the Black Manosphere. I apparently don't conform to the Black Manosphere. I've been put out, so fuck it. Go ahead.
Okay, I hope that's not true, but
it's
the
true.
bottom line, the bottom line is,
go ahead.
The bottom line is that we're starting to see a certain kind of comportment coming from the women because they're starting to hear what men actually think. Mm-hmm. So we're already entering the battlefield now. When you had Nicki Minaj have a conversation with Kevin Samuels, and she has to ask, "Oh, well, how am I rated? How would you rate me?" I said, "Oh man, she's a minstrel, certainly, right? But she asked this man to be rated."
And why do you think that is, brother? I'm gonna ask you, why do you think that is?
I think honestly, I think that he's penetrating a bit. I think
why do you think that is, brother? What is it about you? All you Black Manosphere, red pill ass motherfuckers and shit up in here? Why do y'all think that is? Don't y'all know female nature? Y'all haven't heard Barbarossa before?
Oh, of course. Well, because she actually cares about what he thinks.
And why is that?
Well, because he has the appearance of someone who looks like he's authentic.
And authentic at what?
Authentic Black person.
No, brother.
He's honest. I think
women want to follow men.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we saying the same thing.
That's it. So, I'm just laying it out there. Just like I said earlier, women want to follow men, and when they see strong men who know what they're doing, who's leading them in the right direction, they'll follow you. That's why you don't need to just fucking be men and do what you got to do as a man, and the women will come fill all the gaps. That's what the fuck they do.
Nonsense.
Now look,
okay, there you go. I'm gonna be back on your motherfucking ass, on your head in a minute. I'll be over there in a minute. Go ahead, Afro.
I'm ready for it.
So there's something else that I haven't heard discussed that would actually deal with the Pookie and Ray Ray problem directly.
That's what we want to talk about.
All right. If you look at the Jewish community, especially in New York, right? Mm-hmm. They have the Shamrim. The Shamrim are their own personal policing force, right? So in other words, they have men in their community that stand up, that protect their own. We do not have such a thing. We need to have something like a Black Shamrim.
Do you think do they give a fuck about what the police say?
No, well, look, I'm telling you right now. I'm in the New York City area. I see how
Solomon Wise said I've been in the suburbs too long. Get the fuck out of this motherfucker, man.
Let me
what are you talking about? Hold on a minute. But I've been in the suburbs too long, motherfucker. What the fuck are you weird looking ass motherfucker? What are you talking about? I live in the Black community right now, man. The fuck is wrong with some of you? People, you go out of your motherfucking way to ostracize people when they say shit to make you feel uncomfortable. This is the problem that I have with a lot of you brothers. If a Black man is telling you to straighten your shit up and get right, you always looking for a reason to try to ostracize. Oh, that nigga's too black. He ain't got no women. Oh, that nigga's too light-skinned. He ain't black enough. Oh, he's got an education. He's a boule. Oh, he ain't got enough education. He's a dumb motherfucker. Just when we start making your ass feel uncomfortable, no, he's from the suburbs. You dumb motherfucker, my hood pass is intact. That's what I'm tired of you, mother. You got to cut that shit out. When you hear the fucking truth and it's painful to your little punk ass ears, you need to listen anyway and toughen the fuck up.
Well,
get
counselor,
this bitch ass nigga up out my motherfucking
counselor, that's part of the problem. That's a feminine mystique right there. But we'll talk about that later.
Man, so get that dude up out my fucking.
This is my point is that you see Jewish folk who are able to gain control of their communities. And if things, even if it's people outside of that community causing problems, their men will be upfront, even with the police looking in. Matter of fact, the police in New York, truth be told, are the valets to the Shamra.
I already know, man. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
They're
Like,
allowed to do that.
See, this is
No,
the
hold on.
problem. This is
No,
the problem that I have. This is the problem.
Let me finish my point.
Go ahead.
Let me complete it. So this is what I'm thinking. As much money as black people, women included, spend with the black church, why can't we have something like like the black Greeks have a pan-Hellenic society? Why can't we have the Nation of Islam along with the black church, mega church, whatever, to get together with this money, because we can call them.
Do it yourself. Why are you waiting for a savior?
No, let me finish my point. Stop looking for a savior.
I'm not asking anybody else to do anything for me I can do for myself.
It's not really asking.
It's still, you still looking for a savior.
No, but
listen, brother. You want the Nation of Islam, the black Greeks, to go out there and put some fucking money together and to help save you.
No.
Aren't they black men?
No,
do it yourself, brother. Do it yourself. Say, what am I going to do to make my existence better? One of the first things, listen, brother, listen, goddamn. One of the first things I do in my book is I say, when somebody says, who's going to save me? You raise your hand up and say, I'm going to save me. I'm not going to wait around for some organization or some other body, some legislative group to save me. I'm going to save my own self. Save yourself, black man.
Yeah, I've saved myself. What about the community, though?
Save yourself.
You're talking about saving the community, right?
Well, look,
I'm talking about each man save himself, and in doing so, you begin to help the community. You got brilliant ideas out. You got brilliant ideas, Afro nerd. The only place you went wrong is when you said, "Well, I'm gonna get somebody else to save." No, you do.
The church is part of the community, ain't it?
That's my point. My point is,
they take money from the community.
My point is, we need,
and the church is in the business of saving the church.
The church
and buying the Reverend Rolls Royces and shit. Okay, that's what the church is there for.
But look, the problem is that we're giving these people money. It's time to ask a return on that money.
Exactly.
See, my issue is
why are they giving them money? Why does the church take your ass down there on Sunday and you listen to what the goddamn preacher has to say? You put your $5 in the tray, and that you done gave him money for his time. It's a business. Don't we recognize that it's a business?
No, it's an exchange though.
What's like, why you went down there to hear what he had to say? But all that misinterpretation in the Bible. You heard that. You got it out. You feel good about Jesus. That's what you got in return.
But Counselor, part of this discussion should be, we got to stop looking at ourselves.
Nobody's coming to save you.
No, but let me finish my point.
Go ahead.
My problem is we have to stop this kind of thinking where we're so peculiar and distinct from everybody else because they're doing exactly the same thing. The Jewish man is paying tithes to his community and he gets something back from it. We can't continue to have this attitude that, well, this is the way things are. These Negroes in church aren't going to do anything. We need to be putting our foot up there behind and saying,
what are you going to do about it?
They're in the community.
I think.
What are you going to do about it? How are you going to make the church give you money? Go ahead.
Same way with Pookie,
right? Wait a minute. One thing we've learned from the ladies is, and some of them aren't ladies, some of them are women. We got to stop that too. Everybody's calling somebody a lady.
Question, man. What are you gonna do to force the church to give
I gotta have the courtesy of completion, Counselor. What I'm saying is
hurry up, brother. You gotta hurry up.
My point is, we saw Me Too start from the internet, and now they have brothers all twisted up from the internet. Why can't we do the same thing? There's got to be a black version of the Me Too. We see people changing from the internet. I can't even talk to a woman on the street like I used to. Okay, I'm being straight up because I gotta be careful. They changed me. So why can't we elicit the same kind of change that everybody else does? The Jewish people have the Shamram, but the black folks can't get the Shamram. We can't lock up these churches and say, hey man, we're gonna call in on what we've been investing.
Okay, let me just entertain.
Everybody's a chance to call in their investment.
Let's give it step one. You got the church to give you the money. Now, what are you gonna do next? What's the point of getting the money from the church?
The point of getting them, it's not even about the money. It's about they have the infrastructure, just like Catholics have a police, just like the Jews have a police? Why can't black folks have a police? So when somebody, when you're a mother,
into like a police precinct for the neighborhood.
No, what makes that any different than the Catholics and the Jewish
No,
people?
I'm just asking. That's the whole point.
No, the point is that instead of having the police come to mollify a situation, you call your own police so your brothers aren't getting hemmed up by white people. We have to start getting control. That's a way of getting control. That's a way of getting control.
The problem. Okay, I hear you. I heard you. If the objective is to have a rallying point or infrastructure,
right,
for the police,
right,
for you to have a basic community police,
our own.
Why do you have to ask the church to do that? Just open up your fucking garage and let them do it in your garage.
Nonsense.
How about not even having a location? How about, I mean, people can get together through the internet. We're gonna meet over here on 6th and Main Street tonight. All right, well, we got an issue over here. You don't need to wait. If you put all these things in your way, you'll never get it done. That's my whole point. You put all these obstacles. First we gotta do that, then we gotta do that, then we gotta. Sometimes you gotta just plan it out and go. But go ahead, Afro Nerd. Then we're gonna go to Yoga.
All right, look. I made my point. I think the infrastructure is there, and I think we need to start putting it out there in the atmosphere. We're not even discussing. Man, but look, we're not, counselor. We're not even having the discussion.
We're not even talking about what we're supposed to be talking about. But go ahead.
No, but it's all the same thing. What I'm saying is,
it's not the same thing.
If we're trying to
talking about Pookie and motherfucking Predator Pookies must die. While they're sellouts,
and this is
right.
how
I'm telling you, and this is a way that they have a long history of selling black folks out, and that ain't what we talking about. We talking about the church and police. That is not even the fucking. That's not what we doing. We need to first of all, let's change the mindset that we have. We romanticize this criminality. That's the first thing we need to do. Why is that an issue? Why do we romanticize criminality? Let's start with that. Why is that swine chip cause us to gravitate toward the low end of even other people's culture?
You want the answer to that?
You hear call yourself by Italian mafia names and Mexican mafia names like Scarface, Patron, all these fucking names. We gravitate towards that shit. If it's some bullshit on the internet, we gonna watch it. That's sensational. We gonna watch it. The problem starts with us. Pookie and Ray Ray take care of himself. Once we get ourselves straight, we wouldn't tolerate it if we didn't have that appetite for swine. That's my whole point. We got that appetite for filth. That's what the problem is. That's why you got so many people out here defending these motherfuckers. But go ahead, Yoga. It's on you.
Well, to get back to the point, I look at the source of why myself as an 80s baby, why my peers grew up on the Scarface and the gangster stuff and the movies and the media and the music we heard. Now, as a grown man, this is business, and we got to look at what community starts the corporations that put the money behind that promote this to us. When we cut on the TV, we cut on the radio, we see ourselves black men. They keep showing us that same image over and over. That's the real root of it. Well, with me growing up in it as a child, it was already there. So it was already there for a bait for me to go down that route and idolize that. So I look at that, who put that bait out there for us to even idolize that. We're in an oppressed situation.
Whose fault isn't it for paying attention to it though, bro? Whose fault is it for letting them affect them?
Well, hold on. It's a group of people that put that out there on us, but then at a certain point when we get to a certain consciousness level, it's on us to block that and to block that media. And that's what this show is all about. Us standing up and saying, no, that's not the image. And we got to start calling it out when the Jew corporations put that out, because that's who's putting it out. Hollywood and the record labels, those are ran by Jews. So their community are attacking us with that image.
Taking advantage of you. And you let them.
Well, I'm telling the truth. We are weak in that way. We are weak in that way. So it was the generations that allowed us to get into slavery.
Listen, let me ask this question. Why is it somebody else's fault for benefiting from your stupidity or your weakness?
I just said it was their fault. This is the result of it. This is the result. We're living the result of
Whose obligation is it to fix it?
What system we got to counteract it?
Well, let me start with this right here. This is a book, because I knew this fucking argument was going to come up. Y'all always try to fucking blame the media. This is a book from the 1960s by Joseph Clasper, and it says The Effects of Mass Communication. I put the link in the community. Let's read. In 1960, Clasper challenged the prevailing fear that the media dominate the thoughts and actions of people. In a book entitled Effects of Mass Communication, Clasper argued that television plays an important role in the lives of people, but does not dominate them. He questioned the prevailing belief that television audiences are passive and reasoned that TV is one of the many influences that account for public opinions and mass behavior. He advises, he advises, many influence. He advises a shift of hypodermic linear transmission model and assumes that media inject influence directly, not into a passive audience. He demonstrated that people resist media influence by relying on community norms, beliefs, and values. That same white man that you said is controlling y'all is telling you, if your fucking community norms, beliefs, and values were intact, the TV wouldn't do shit to you. So who runs the community? Who is supposed to run the community?
Who runs it?
Who is supposed to run the community, black man?
Who currently runs it?
Who is supposed to run the community, black man?
Listen, there's a lot of things we supposed to do.
Who is supposed to run the community?
Who got the guns?
Who is supposed to run the black community, sir?
Who got the guns?
Man, goddamn it, if you don't answer this goddamn question, I'm gonna put you in timeout.
The man is.
The man is supposed to run the black community.
White man running.
So if you don't run the black community, it's your own goddamn fault. The Mexican man run his community. The Asian man run his community. The Arab man run his fucking community. The white man run his goddamn community. And y'all telling me you can't run your own motherfucking community?
White man
allowed. A bunch of bitches and kids.
It's imperative.
That's what
it's imperative for the black man to get control of his children.
You're telling me that you're gonna let bitches and kids run you and you a grown-ass man.
No, it's white man running.
It's imperative for the black man to get control of his children.
No, sir. Does the white man run the Mexicans man's community?
Look
like they got that motherfucker locked down to me.
They allow it.
Walk your black ass through that motherfucker without getting hit up.
So
you telling me the white man runs the Mexican man community? Does he run the Asian man's community?
Did they wage war?
Does he run the Arab man's community? We so fucking powerless, right, brother? We powerless, right?
Can I get up in here real quick?
This shit is hopeless. Brandon Stallings, welcome to the show. What are your thoughts on this conversation?
Hey, how you doing, Sterling, man?
Good, I guess.
Yeah, man. I just wanted to say, man, is that all right? So just me, man, and we just became friends on Facebook, brother Sterling. I own and I'm the head coach of a USA swim team. I coach swimming and track at the local high school, and I teach piano, voice, and drum lessons, and guitar lessons here in the Metro Atlanta area. And so doing that and dealing with black youth, I deal with a lot of single mothers every day. And it's like Brother Sterling said, the only thing you have to do is just stand up and lead and do it with integrity, and they will follow. I talk to mothers all the time. And hey,
what the fuck you laughing for, Marcus? Why you laughing, bro?
Because all you got to do is
this is the weakest shit.
I'm doing it.
The weakest shit I've ever heard. Go ahead, Brandon.
I say that because I'm doing it. My name is Brandon Stallings. You can look me up on Facebook, see everything that I'm doing. I'm saying it because I'm doing it. You see what I'm saying? And that's why they follow me. Because everything I say, when I get on Facebook and I say such and such and such, and I think we need to be doing this in the black community, don't nobody say shit. Because they know he doing it. They don't say nothing. They won't. I'm talking about from public officials.
And Brandon, I appreciate you, man. I'm so tired of the fucking excuses. I've been hearing black men make excuses since the 1980s.
So ain't no Pookies in your hood, huh?
What the white man won't give them. and how the white man is holding back. I'm so tired. And black women are tired of that shit too, man. Black women are tired of that shit too. And I'm the last motherfucker to call a simp. But what I'm saying is, as a man talking to other men, grown ass men, I don't want to hear all them fucking excuses from you about what you can't do. All I'm asking you to do is stand up and be man and say, you know, I'm a fucking man. I'm gonna control my area. I'm gonna control my house. I'm gonna control myself.
My house is controlled.
The white man don't make the white
your community.
Bro, go ahead, brother. Go ahead. I'm fucking tired of this shit. Go ahead, bro.
I'm just like Brother Sterling said, man. Just do it. If you do it, they will follow you because they want to follow you. Right? If I call a mother and I say, listen, your daughter is not going to progress if you don't bring it to practice. If I call a mother and I say, hey, your son is doing this, he needs to be doing this, right? They do it and they act because they see me doing it, right? I'm active. I lift weights. I work out. I've run 8 marathons, right? Everybody in the community knows.
Bro, why you keep laughing when this man is talking, bro? What's up with the Snickers?
I'm trying to understand what lifting weights is.
Just chill, bro. We'll be back to you in a minute.
What I'm saying is this, man. If it's funny, go to my Facebook page and just follow me, and you'll see that everything that I say I do it.
Yeah, women follow power and they follow success. If you're in a situation and you can't get your woman to follow you, or you can't get no woman to follow you, it is because they perceive you as not being successful. They don't perceive you as having power. And if you can't, and here's the thing, you can't even control yourself. You see what I mean? You already counting yourself out. I got all you brothers in here telling me what you can't do and how the white man is running this motherfucking 2022. You can get on the
but did you start this show out?
You can get on the plane and leave the fucking country, and you telling me you can't control your neighborhood? You telling me you can't put your cousin, your brother, whoever in check when they're out of line? I say, man, you need to cut that fucking dope dealing out, bro. That ain't cool. That shit is fucked up. Is that what you telling me, brothers? I mean, that don't sound good. I mean, we got all these motherfuckers on the internet defending these motherfucking Pookie and Ray. I'm talking about fucking predators. I'm not talking about hardworking black men, truck drivers. I'm not talking about lazy motherfuckers that don't want a job. I'm talking about people that prey on other black people and make your life hard. That's what I'm talking about. But anyway, Brandon, thank you so much, man. I appreciate what you're doing, and I appreciate you taking initiative. I appreciate you dominating your area and your space, man. Every king needs to claim his land. But anyway, Diana, welcome, Diana. Unmute yourself.
Hi, thanks for having me. Can you hear me?
Yeah, don't say nothing crazy because I'll go off on your ass too, but go ahead.
No, I don't do that. I was just coming up to say, like, I agree with you when you were saying, like, that majority of women just would fall behind a leader naturally. I'm surprised at how much pushback you're getting about that, especially because I'm new in this space. I kind of just fell into this manosphere thing, and it's quite interesting, but it's odd. Like, why do you think that is?
Because they're scared. They're scared and they got low self-esteem, and the world has beat them up and told them that they're not worthy, and they don't feel like they could go out and claim what's theirs, what's rightfully theirs as men. That's what's wrong with black men, and it's been entrenched in them. They was raised by mothers who beat them up and treated them bad and told them they wouldn't shit, told them that they ugly and black and nappy-headed. Nobody wanted them. They got a society that seconds that. The only people they see being successful and living well is basketball players and drug dealers. At least that's what they think. And so they scared, and they won't admit that they fucking scared. And see, they not like me. I'm crazy enough to I don't give a shit. Like, so ways you can overcome your fear. And that either you're gonna be brave enough to confront it, or you're gonna be crazy and just be like, I'm just too crazy to be afraid. And that happens, and that's secondary to like all the trauma that I've had to deal with. That's why I'm so fucking successful. I just don't give a shit. But that's not healthy either, because that could go the other way. But the truth is, sister, they're afraid. And these brothers won't admit that they're afraid. That's why they keep making excuses for why they can't do it.
I was really
gotta
quite
listen,
surprised
baby.
about
Listen,
that.
I'm educating you so you can run back and tell these women, because I'm not gonna do it. They make excuses for why they can't do something, and when they finally decide they should do something, then they wait for a savior to come along and save them. The Congress needs to do it. The police need to do it. We need to come up with a committee. We need to get the Boy Scouts to help us. They need to get the fraternities and the talent and tilth to help, instead of taking it on their own and doing it themselves. Does that that?
No, I get what you're saying, and also like what you just said, like, can anybody understand how that mentality can lead to a woman carrying a burden that she not necessarily want to carry, but she's forced to carry it because there's nobody else around, and a woman is going to protect her cubs. So if she'll do whatever she has to do to make sure that her children survive and thrive to the best of her ability. I mean, of course, it's always better with two parents in the home, but if it's just one person and they're carrying that burden, she'll do what she has to do.
Yeah, you got black men on here who say black women are their enemy, and I'm like, nigga, is your mama your enemy? Is your sister your enemy? Like, you want me to see your mom as my enemy, motherfucker? You telling me your mom is my enemy, nigga? You know what I do to my enemy? That's what you telling me? You want that nigga down the street to think that your mother and your sister and your daughter is an enemy? That's some stupid shit. As opposed to, listen to me, as opposed to accepting the fact, bitch, she don't trust your ass.
Which is crazy for them to think that doesn't make any sense, because black men hurt other black men too.
Well, no, but go ahead. What did you say? I didn't hear you.
I was saying that there's a group of black guys, and I think that's what you're talking about. They hurt other black men. They kill black men. They kill black women. They kill black children, and all of this. And how are you shocked if a black woman is standoffish or not smiling? Because we know there's this group of guys out there. Why would we be invited?
You hit something that I want to talk about. That's not all black men. It's a small percentage of these dumb motherfuckers that we get rid of. But they're ruining our reputation in America and around the world. But you know what? When I say, brother, act dignified, act like you got some class, some sense. Let's get rid of these fucking poops. I don't want to perform for the white man. You just want me to behave. No, motherfucker. It's dignity and pride and respect. You want to act like that so people don't see you like a fucking savage and an animal, or like one of these these motherfucking predator roaches that we got running around here. They don't get that shit. You see what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, they're comfortable in their degeneracy. They got that swine chip in the back of their fucking minds. Understand what I'm saying? It's easy to sit low and sit and wallow in pity and shit. The only time black men get up, when they join the military, when they come police, when they gangbang, they great for fighting for somebody else's cause. But I can't get them to do shit for their own cause. They got to wait for the white man to give them permission to do what's good for themselves. You understand? And women see that. Black women, all women, have been, biology has made it so they can damn near fucking sense fear on your ass. They can they constantly give you shit tests to see where you coming from. And if you constantly a man making excuses for what you can't do and what you don't have and what you can't get, why the fuck would she trust you to be her provider and her protector? That's what I'm trying to tell you, man. All I hear is fear, and that shit is annoying to me. I don't even accept that shit in my own sons. Why would I accept it from a group of grown-ass men? When my sons tell me they're afraid of somebody, I throw their ass back out there. When you gonna get over? You just gonna fight, and you gonna be afraid fighting. That's how you do it. All this fucking fear. All I fucking hear is, white man, we don't run this country. We don't own anything. We don't run the black community. Change your motherfucking tampons. That's what the fuck I want y'all to do, brothers. I'm tired of this shit. Aren't y'all tired of this shit? I mean, goddamn. This has been a 60-year conversation since real black men, since goddamn 40-year conversation since black men left the home. Half of y'all was single mother raised ass motherfuckers, and you got her same coping mechanisms. You see the world from the same view that your mother sees the world. And she saw nothing but fear. She was afraid for herself. She was afraid from you. That's why these bitches act so motherfucking manly and tough. Because they scared.
Exactly.
They like short motherfuckers in the penitentiary. They got to act tough all the fucking time to scare people. But it's a front.
Because I mean, I get, like, I even have to clutch my purse when I'm in a black neighborhood, and I'm like black. So
somebody said I'm shaming black men. Ain't gonna make. Okay, hold on. You're shaming black men. Ain't gonna make them new stepdaddies or clean some shit others destroy. Motherfucker, I'm trying to shame you into being a fucking man and having some courage. And being the man that the Most High wants you to be. That's what I'm asking you to do. I'm not asking you to go out and be a motherfucking stepdaddy. I'm not asking you to do shit other than be a man. That's all I'm asking you to do. I'm asking you to walk through this world and not be afraid. I'm asking you to walk through this world and know that this whole world belongs to you. And that you don't have to be afraid. And that you can claim whatever you can take and hold on to that belongs to you. I'm not asking you for none of that shit, man. So get the fuck out of here with that. And look, I got a motherfucking passport. I got passport. My kids got more stamps than most of y'all. But when you take your ass over there and you the same weak ass motherfucker that you are here, them bitches gonna smell your ass for the bitch ass motherfucker that you are, and they gonna treat you like a whole hoe out there. That's in the Dominican Republic. That's in Colombia. Even the men gonna look at you like a little bitch. That's what I'm trying to fucking tell you. There is no geographical solution for an emotional problem, and you brothers got simp chips in the back of your head. You think like your mothers taught you to think. That's the problem that we're dealing with, brothers. And I'm telling you from a fucking place of love, I love y'all. But this punk ass, weak ass, making excuse, that shit got to go, man. Real shit, man. The world doesn't owe you anything, man. Nobody's gonna come protect you. Nobody's gonna save you, man. And y'all need to go ahead and think about that, man. Stop with all this weak ass talking, man. Diana, go ahead, and then we're gonna go to Mr. Increase.
That's all I have for you. Thank you so much. I think I understand the conversation a lot better now. So thank you.
All right. Mr. Increase, welcome to the conversation, man. What are your thoughts on this shit?
Thank you, Uncle D. Long time listener. You know, I keep hearing that, black people being in charge or having their own police force is going to be the answer, but that's not necessarily the answer because of what's inside our hearts and minds. Right. I grew up in Detroit. Yeah. And after the riots, black people took control of Detroit. Mm-hmm. They had control of the mayor's office, the city government, the police force, and the public schools. And black people treated the black people worse than the white man. You had people in power, black people in power who exploited other black people. Yeah, police officers were bringing, when the dope was coming in, it was police officers in police cars taking it to the hood.
Why do you think we so quick? Because see, I brought up something that nobody hit on. I'm glad we back to this point. We sold each other into slavery, but we hate to face that. We black Africans captured other Africans, brought them to the shore, and sold us into slavery. Let's deal with that for what it is. Black Africans, people of African descent, brought cocaine from the CIA, right? That was shipping that shit in. We wasn't shipping the shit in. The CIA brought that shit to us, right? The government created that pipeline, and then we sold it to our own people. We didn't sell it to the Mexicans. We didn't sell it to the Arabs. We didn't sell it to the white folks. We brought it straight back to Compton, South Central, Brooklyn, Harlem, East Oakland, Cleveland. This is where we brought it to. Why are we so quick to sell each other out? And why don't we like to call out the selling out when we do it?
It's because it's a psychological issue with us. On one hand, we hate each other, but on the other end, we don't want to admit what you just said. We don't want to admit that, yeah, there were Africans who were a part of that transatlantic slave trade. And they were just as ruthless as white people, Jews, and everyone, and Arabs.
And you know what? They love to say, we wasn't from the same tribe. It was different tribes selling it. No, motherfucker, people were selling their own family members from the same goddamn tribe, selling their wives. Everybody was selling whoever cousins. Everybody was selling anybody because it was money to be made. The white man knows our weakness. We like his things so much. We like his things more than we like ourselves. They were selling other Africans into slavery for motherfucking pots and tobacco and trinkets. So you sold one of your ancestors. This is what we, just like you motherfuckers are selling, you're selling cocaine and drugs to your own people so you can buy rims and Mercedes Benzes and shit. All that shit is gone. All that shit is old somewhere in the junkyard. That's what you did. You destroyed generations of black people for
even today.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Even today. I know you know the story of Detroit. It was black people that bankrupted Detroit.
Yeah.
And white people came and took it, white people came and took it over, and everybody screamed racism.
Ain't that something? Ain't that something? We like to do that. That's another thing. And racism does exist. It's everywhere. But we put ourselves in the position. We had control. They sell crack cocaine to your people.
Yeah.
That's opportunistic. Now you're an agent of racism.
Let me tell you something real. This is gonna break your heart. You had black people who had control of the public school system. There was a school principal of a high school. There was a government grant given to the high school to rebuild the high school, make everything better, give all this, all the supplies that the kids needed. The principal stole $100,000 and bought a Maserati.
Man, okay, yeah, I mean, I get that. It's a cultural issue. Where's the rest of the people with the smoke? Where all the Pookie Predator defenders at? Where y'all at? Come on, Pookie Predator defenders. The link is in the chat room. Mr. Increase, I'm gonna go back to Full Metal. What else you got to say, Full Metal?
You got me. No, like I was trying to say, man. I think it's imperative for black men to get in control of their children. Mm-hmm. You raise your children with the proper values. All this bullshit y'all talking about, it's not going to be an issue because the culture will change when the values change. Yeah, I agree. And black men, all the stuff y'all just arguing about, and I understand where some of the brothers coming from with the women. That's one of the problems I might have as far as a different opinion.
Me though, bro, I'm not letting no broads run me though. I don't know how do you do let broads run them.
Can listen?
Bitch ass dudes are you? You letting a bitch run you?
Listen to what you saying. Listen to what you saying. You talking to a whole bunch of men that been raised by women and been conditioned by women. They're used to having women run them.
I know.
Let me ask you this: who raised you? Who taught you to think the way you think?
It wasn't my mama. So
bingo.
I was raised, but still though, you should be able to see that. Hey, this ain't working out, right? You see what I'm saying? I mean, my own personal raising, man, I was raised by a very hard adopted father who really treated me like, hey, you gotta be a man. You know what I'm saying? Get your ass beat. You gotta pay the cost. Life is fucked up. Bad shit happens, and you still got to deal with it. There's no excuses. It don't matter what fucked up happened to you. You are still responsible for digging yourself out of the hole. What my man at? Come back in here, brother, if you can. But yeah, that's the type of man that raised me. Yeah. But
you explaining the answer. You're explaining the answer. That's why I say it's imperative for black men to get hold of their children, to install the proper values, even if it's a little harsh. Like I told you before, I got full custody of my son once I got out the army because I knew if he was raised under, if he wasn't raised under a man, it's too many black men that go out in this world unprepared. They not talking about they sheep amongst wolves.
Yeah.
If you don't have a man teaching you, look, you're gonna have to deal with this. You're gonna have to deal with this. You're gonna have to deal with that.
How do we make these motherfuckers realize that there's a problem? Because they don't even realize there's a problem. They really think the shit that they saying is okay. They really think it's okay for them to keep saying, well, I can't do anything about it because black women run the black community. Why? Okay, I don't get that. Like, at what point? How do we convince them that that's not acceptable to say publicly and out loud?
In the army, they said drive on. You can't and drive on. Brothers that got their mind right and then they can take guidance, You deal with them. The other ones, you say, all right, dude, you're gonna have to fall by the wayside. Ain't nothing wrong with thinning the herd. That's the bottom line. It's some brothers you're not gonna be able to reach because they've been so corrupted. Like the chip you were talking about, they've been so corrupted.
You know what it's like? It's like, to me, it's like we got a basketball game going and it's girls against boys, and the dudes is like, we can't play them. They're too rough. That's what it sounds like to me. And I'm like, it's nothing but a bunch of women over there. You telling me they play too rough? That's what you guys are telling me. Like, these black women are so big and bad and tough that you're afraid they run the court. That's what they telling me. That don't really register to me like that, man.
And it's never going to. It's not going to register to brothers like you. And what you have to do is just say, hey, I feel for you, brother.
It makes me angry. I'll say that. And I've been very angry today because of all these excuses. You know, I don't get that. You know? But go ahead, bro. Anybody else who want to come in, come in. Go ahead. But what else you want to say, bro? Go ahead.
Yeah, it's like I said, I just reiterate, it's just you got to get control of your sons. The only way you change the culture is through changing values. We're not gonna watch the TV. We're gonna pull this book out. We're gonna go fishing. We're gonna go do this. When I was raising my son, I wouldn't even whoop him. We would talk for hours, explain to him, this is why I'm disciplining. This is what you need to be more concerned about. I have absolutely no problems with my son. Good boy, he doing what he's supposed to do because I was there to form his culture, to shape and mold the way he thought and how he looked at life. And when you're dealing with, I live in Milwaukee. It's horrible. A whole bunch of single, like you said, a whole bunch of single mothers raising these buffoons out here.
Where you at? Where you at?
Huh?
Where you at?
I'm in Milwaukee. Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
I didn't know that was that bad up there, man. Like, I've been noticing, like, shit, it's real bad up in that way. But go ahead.
Atrocious. And a whole bunch of brothers walking around with no guidance, no purpose. A lot of life is about purpose. Your sons give you purpose. I'm assuming that's why you push so hard.
Yes, sir.
Family gives you purpose. Your offspring, your wife, good people in your family, it gives you purpose. If you don't have that purpose, you walking around like a zombie. So it's like, look, man, you got to get control of your family, and you can't be playing games about what nonsense enters their minds. You have to shape their mind. That's your responsibility as a father.
I'm gonna ask you this, and then I want to go to Michael because I still want to hear some of these points. It seems like every time a black man stands up and starts correcting other black men in their behavior, it's always something to be said. Even Malcolm X, they hated. He's a radical Negro. That's what black folks say. Y'all need to leave these drugs alone. Y'all need to get these pimps out the neighborhood. What else did they say? You need to stop, do for self, stop running behind these white men. They hated Malcolm X for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's a radical Negro. He's a convict. That's what they said about him. Even Martin Luther King, we need to stand up. We need to unify. We need to protest. Oh, you're a troublemaking Negro. This is what they said. You see what I'm saying? And it's like, why is it that we always push back against what's good for? And then 40 years later, he got highways and streets and buildings named after him. You see what I mean? Why y'all? What's up with that? You know, and why do we uplift all the sellouts? That's what I want to know. Explain that. But go ahead, Full Metal, and then we're going to go to Michael Leonard.
It's extremely hard to change what you've been. You put up a video by Amos Wilson. I have all of his books. It's extremely hard to change conditioning. I think he's one of the greatest scholars we ever had. It's extremely hard to change conditioning. You've been doing something a certain way for so many years. It's hard to change it. It's hard to put them cigarettes down. Black men have been conditioned to be the way that they are, and it's just extremely hard to break it. Even with force, when you come on here and you start getting up in their ass, it's hard to.
Look, you be like 13 or 14 dudes in here today. They don't want to hear this shit. They don't want to hear this shit. But go ahead.
You find comfort in regularity. The things you do every day. Even when it comes down to women, you comfortable kissing ass. You comfortable doing whatever she say. It's gonna be hard to say, look, I'm a man and I'm gonna take care of everything, and you gonna bow down and do as I ask. And that's just the bottom line. You down? No. Bye. I'll find somebody who will. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. And that's that pussy.
Go ahead, brother.
That's that pussy whip part. They need female validation so bad they willing to take low and sit up under these broads and just let her be in charge so they don't have to be hear her mouth. And then the crazy thing is she don't respect him because he let her do that to him. That's what these black women are saying. Black women ain't no different than any other group of women on this planet. You just need to put their ass in their motherfucking place and let them know you don't give a fuck what happens afterwards. You want to walk out that door? Okay, go and walk out that door. Or I'm going to walk out this door and you're never going to see me again. Period. That's how this is going to work. I'm not giving you my attention on my resources. That goes for your love relationships, your mama. That goes for your daughters, your grandmamas, and all of them. You got to be man enough to put them in their place. I'm a man and you're going to treat me like a man. Period. I'm speaking from experience. I do the shit right motherfucking now. And I promise you life gets a whole lot better when you start putting yourself in a position that I'm a man and you're going to treat me with respect as a man. And that extends out to the community. But thank you so much, Full Metal. I want to talk to Mr.
All right, brother.
Welcome, sir. What are your thoughts on this conversation? What would you like to add? We've gone all around the world. What would you like to add, sir?
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I just really wanted to say that I think that you're on the right route when it comes down to how we have to establish the pecking order when it comes down to, the Pookies and the Ray Rays and educated lambs and who is actually going to lead the community. And that we have the responsibility as, whatever they want to call educated lambs or whatever, to do the heavy lifting and later for that other shit,
What do you think?
Once that's
go ahead, bro. I want to add, and since you brought that up, I'm going to bring a Wikipedia page up, and this is UEP Newton right here, right? Now, some people like to say stuff like, "Oh, the Pookie, the Predator Pookie, the dope dealer, those are our warrior class." That's what they like to say, and they say, "You educated lanes, y'all ain't gonna fight, y'all wouldn't bust, y'all ain't gonna fight nobody, y'all ain't gonna do nothing." And see, here's what I'm looking at about Huey Newton, country boy from Monroe, Louisiana. Shout out to that boot. Shout out to everybody from Louisiana. He actually went to Merritt College. Then from there, he studied law at San Francisco Law School and the University of California, Santa Cruz. He was a member of Phi Beta Sigma, and he got a PhD. This is an educated lame, Michael Leonard. But damn, if he didn't have all that education, he wouldn't know how to read the riot act to those police who were unlawfully trying to arrest those black men when they was being harassed by the cops. Go ahead.
But not just him, Thurgood Marshall and going all the way back, even before slavery, when men were finding their freedom, going up to wherever, getting money, coming back and getting their whole family. These were educated men. They had to learn what they needed to learn to free themselves. And time and time again, we come up against this brick wall of these men who decide that gangster lifestyle is the only route to freedom, and it's not. And most men end up being behind bars or becoming a ally to the state, like you was talking about earlier, with a lot of these men being the very men that brought down the community. A lot of black people don't know this, but in the early days, the FBI used to advertise on the radio, and they used to ask for regular citizens to come and work for the FBI. And what a lot of black people don't know is that a lot of black people were that were in the poorer class would use that will go into the FBI to become informants on purpose and snitch on other black people.
See, here's the thing, and we're not down in poor people at all, and not all poor people.
No, not poor. I don't mean poor people, but what I'm getting at is opportunists, like you were talking about earlier. The opportunists looked at that as a way to jump classes, and so they took the government money and ratted on their own people when they were during and before the civil rights movement. You know,
and I want to drop something in. I gotta get, because you hit a point. Integrity will keep you from selling out your fucking people for money. And so it's a lack of integrity. It don't matter how much money you have or don't have. You don't sell crack cocaine to your own people. Just like you don't sell your own people into slavery because for money and trinkets and shit. That's how the white man keep penetrating us. That's how they keep getting in. And you ostracize the best. Half of you motherfuckers, not you brothers, half of you motherfuckers don't even know history. And you talking about what an educated lame is and what ain't. Nat Turner was the most educated man amongst all the black folks around because he was a preacher. He could read. And he led a rebellion. You looking at Huey P. Newton, y'all talking about warriors, and I know brother brought up Thurgood Marshall. They want to talk. They want to see the ones that, but actually, they, you know, motherfuckers like Vine. They want to see if you really bought that life. So ain't nobody more about that life than the Black Panthers. And these were educated men with doctorate degrees and studied law. These are the ones that was busting caps back in the day. They wasn't. And
there were other.
Know what you talking about. Know what you talking about before you start talking about my Black history. That's what I would.
And there were other rebellions
and this misinformation out here on the internet because that shit sounds good. Know what the fuck you talking about before you mislead my people. Our people die for a lack of knowledge. That's what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And we got ignorant motherfuckers out here spreading lies and saying stupid shit that they don't even know. Nigga, it's a Wikipedia page and you can read all you want to. Why would you go and mislead our people and keep feeding them that slop? That's what that is, it's slop. And I'm tired of it. But anyway, go ahead, Michael. Then we're going to go to Vintage Negro.
There's a man who came up around the time of Francis Cress Welsing who created the Black Codex. His name is Nellie Fuller Jr. Yeah, a lot of young brothers need to read that because you will see that he predicted where we are today, especially with the effeminization of the male, especially in the inner cities, and how the culture, where the culture was leading. And he wrote this back in the 60s, I believe. And if you read that Codex book, you're going to understand that this was all programmed and planned a long time ago. And if you keep following the so-called leaders of the community, they're going to lead you right down the path of what the government wants you to be and what the hidden hand of the people who's really running the show want us to be and not be rebellious.
The problems that I have with books like by Neely Fuller Jr. is they told you what the fuck was going to happen 30 years ago and you still ain't made plans to fix that shit. You see, that's my problem.
I agree.
Look, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said it. All these other people, you need to separate yourself. You need to get your shit straight. All these people have been telling us what the fuck is going to happen, and we see it happening, and they've been telling us how we can fix it, and we ain't fixing it. You black men need to stand up. I don't expect a bitch to do shit for me. You understand what I'm saying? I don't expect black women to help me do a goddamn thing. I expect them to do what women have done for millions of years, follow strong men. And until you brothers begin to stand up and show that you're strong men, then you can't expect women to follow you. A whole bunch of women to follow you if you're strong. That's why the white man got women from different races following him. Because he's strong. I can dominate this world. By hook or crook, the motherfucker is dominating it. You can't take that from him. You might call him the devil and all this other shit, but he's whooping ass, ain't he? How about let's take some lessons and start whooping ass and stop making excuses? That's what I would like black men to do. I'd like y'all to say, fuck it, and balls to the wall. We're going to kick ass and take names. Go ahead, Michael, and then we're going to go to Vintage Negro.
One last thing. You totally right about that last statement because one of the things that happened when the Black Panthers formulated was that there was an abundance of women who was willing to follow and stay on code and do what they had to do to push the culture and push the movement. And the Black Love movement and the Black Revolutionary movement, they were standing behind their men, not trying to stand in front of them.
And then guess what happened? When did they start falling off and say, fuck these motherfuckers? When did they start falling off?
When they got infiltrated.
Ray start infiltrating and selling drugs and pimping and shit like that. They like, we not following these motherfuckers no more. So it all goes back to that same degenerate non-integrity having group of men that have been with us since we left Africa. That part of our culture that says it's okay to sell your fellow black man or black woman out for the right price. That same shit has followed us, and we need to get rid of that shit with a hard hand. That's why I'm telling you, Pookie must die. And when I say Pookie, and I want to make sure everybody understands this, because it's a lot of motherfuckers purposely misstating what I'm saying, because you're messy, you're troublemakers, you like to keep up bullshit, and you don't want to be by yourself. Pookie, the Predator, is the dope dealers. He's the people who prey upon black men and women and children. He is deviants who rape little boys and girls, men and women, and shoot. These are the predators of the black community. That is who Pookie is. Not some poor man or some boy who's lazy who want to play video games all day and smoke his weed in the backyard. That's not Pookie. He needs a fucking job, but he's not a predator Pookie. I'm not talking about the nigga that laid on his child support. I'm not talking about the dude that went to jail for traffic tickets. I'm not even talking about the motherfucker that went to jail for a whole lot of other shit. I'm talking about predators in the black community that make your life hard. Drug dealers. I ain't even talking about the drug dealers that sell weed. I'm talking about the ones that sell heroin and crack cocaine and those other drugs that have destroyed the black community. Those are the fucking predators. And if you want to do something about it, all of you guys who sympathize with them, oh, we can't do that. It's part. Well, you know what they need to do? If they want to redeem themselves, they need to stand up and begin to denounce and decry all of their bad behavior, all of that destruction, all that genocide that they caused. They need to stand up like men and begin to actively undo it, not just run off and hide or then bring their ass back and talk about how we need to rehabilitate the community. That's who I'm talking about. Michael Leonard, thank you so much. I'm going to go to Vintage Negro. Thank you so much and keep up the good work. Vintage Negro, how you doing, young brother? All right, you got to unmute yourself. Always good to have you back. What are your thoughts on this conversation? Have I been clear? Because a lot of people seem to misunderstand where the fuck I'm coming from. They apparently want me to say something. They hear what they want to hear. Brother.
Oh yeah. And I think you have been very clear on who you stratify as Pookie and Ray Ray. I think you've been very clear about that. But it's just people that out there that just choose that wants to lump us in all together and wants to save everybody. That I think that's the problem. And they have to know that we can't save everybody. And they are bad. They don't want to think about the fact that there are bad people in the black community. There are bad people in the black community. Everything is not the white man's fault. Some of that shit we got to take responsibility for.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of black people in our community that don't want to paint us as the bad guys. We what is that called? We want to always be innocent of everything.
Yeah. Don't want to
no matter what. No matter what. It's like we have power in that. Not taking responsibility, blaming shit on everyone else. So, but you have been very clear.
Yeah. I hope you guys go to these other people's pages. It's misquoting what the fuck I'm saying. Tell them to stop in the black community. That's what I want. And the brother David Drencher said, Unc, I feel the love. The reality is, SYS to save yourself, move your family out the world. Stop telling them to go play Rambo and Revolutionary on some oil thing that been burnt to ashes. Here's what you got to understand, brother. You cannot get away from Pookie. Pookie left the hood and moved with the white folks. And when the white folks didn't want him no more, he couldn't afford to live there. He moved to live next to the black folks that moved out the hood to get away from his ass. So you cannot escape Pookie. White people do not want to live around you. So what's going to happen? At some point, Pookie is going to bring that same shitty ass culture and move right next door to your ass. You cannot run away from these predator Pookies. They thrive. They are like roaches, and they will follow you. That's my point. So even if you do move away from the war zones and the ghettos, where they moving now? What they doing to the projects? Huh? Pookie in the same mentality move right next door to you. Your kids got to go to Pookie, go to school with Pookie. You can't escape it, brother. You can't escape it. And most of y'all don't have enough money to even move out of the country anyway. So you're going to try, the best you could do is try to move to a better neighborhood in another part of town or something like that. But Pookie will be right there. Pookie's going to be at the grocery store. Pookie is going to be at the motherfucking Walmart, okay? Pookie's everywhere. You can't escape him. So we need to be men and deal with him. That's what I'm telling y'all, man. Understand that. That's what I'm trying to tell you. But go ahead, Vintage Negro. I want you to finish up. Go ahead.
No, I was just, I was pretty much finished, man. I agree with your sentiments.
Yeah.
I don't know what we should do about it, but we have to do something because we have to live there.
My advice to you, man, and this is the thing, man. I just want you brothers to be men. Let's start with us being the best men we can be. You see what I'm saying? And I'm talking to you like you my little brother right now, man. Being a man means I don't make excuses for why I can't do this and why I can't do that. You see what I'm saying? I figure out what I need to do. And first of all, if another man can do it, you can do it. Don't allow yourself to be limited by the color of your skin. If you make something a handicap, it will be. When I was a young lawyer, man, I was working and I used to say, well, I think the court's gonna treat me different because I'm a black man. And one of the senior partners, who's not a black man, he said, you know what? If you think it's a limitation, then your brain will make it a limitation. But if you don't think it's a limitation, then it won't be. Your brain will constantly be finding ways in which you can get around that limitation, even if it exists. But if you say, yeah, that's my limitation, it will be. So what you have to do is, brother, say, no, I'm going to control my household. I'm the backbone of my community. I run my community. I'm the father. This is who I am. I'm going to run this. And your brain will constantly make ways for you to what? Resolve those issues. But as long as you think you reach some insurmountable obstacle, then your ass is going to just be a life full of failure. And all I hear right now from these black men is fear and failure. That's all they got coming. Fear, and you want to know the difference between black men who grew up in the ghetto and made it out, black men who grew up in the ghetto and hood and born to single mothers and impoverished and managed to figure out some kind of way out, is that they believed in themselves and they kept fighting. I can't do it. They did think they couldn't do it. They still fought. It's the battle. The first battle, man, is yourself. That's why the Bible says that you need to know thyself. And you need to conquer your own demons. And what we got is a lot of black men with low self-esteem, man. We got a lot of black men and they admit they're afraid, but they see the world from their mother's eyes. They single mother raised, and they see their mother. They have female coping mechanisms, and that's how they see the world. They basically got their mother's brain. And that's the first thing that anybody who is in the manosphere, who calls himself red pill, should understand. If you're raised by the woman, you're going to see, if you're raised by a woman, you're going to see the world through your mother's eyes. That's what I'm trying to tell you. If you don't get that fundamental lesson in the manosphere, if you haven't taken that basic red pill, then you just wasting your fucking time. And you damn sure didn't need to call yourself an originator of the black manosphere or the white manosphere or whatever, because you don't get the basic lessons. That's what it's there teaching you. So y'all think about that shit, man. All right, but at the end of the day, man, we have got to get rid of these predator pookies. No self-respecting man is going to want to live next to somebody who is going to make his life difficult. We left the suburbs. They followed us. All right, it ain't nowhere to go. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. So we got to deal with it like men. Let's not be like the generations, like the generations that came before us. Let's not be cowards like that. Let's deal with these motherfuckers. Let's put these men in their place and be done with it, and let's change the culture. But anyway, Vintage Negro, I'm gonna give you the last word, bro. Go ahead. Go ahead. Unmute yourself, brother. I can't unmute you, bro. You got to unmute yourself. It's all right. Hold on, we'll take a quick little break, and then we'll try to come right back and get my man Ventures Negro in to make his last statement. I hope, if I can get him in here. We'll try to get him up in here. I love to hear the young brothers and what the young brothers have to say. Yeah, you know, a little hot today, as y'all can see, but I think y'all understand where I was coming from, man. This is not acceptable. This sort of cowardice that brothers are exhibiting. This is not acceptable. We can't do this anymore. Okay, we're not going to be able to keep running away from these issues. We got to stop making excuses for these men who are destroying the black community. We got to stop doing that. That's not acceptable. I'm just saying, we can't keep going on like that. All right. So in the meantime, I'm running this little quick commercial, and then I'll be right back with my closing thoughts on this subject.
Has exceeded all deep nutritional expectations. Platinum VK and Platinum O2 crypto token opportunities are limitless. Join us now and ride the next wave of human evolution at Platinum VK.
It's been us as black women who have never been examined. We have been kept from any kind of criticism. We think a good, successful relationship is one where everything goes our way. The first time it stops going our way, then we got a serious problem. We want our man to do everything we tell him to do, but we don't want to do anything he tells us to do.
All right, you guys, this is Uncle D. I'm back. This is a heated subject because I'm tired of hearing excuses. I'm tired of dudes on the internet and YouTube talking about excuses and defending this behavior. Hold on. Whoop, whoop. Here we go. It needs to stop. We need to just stand up and be men, period. And I know this is a little rare form for me. I know I got some folks looking like, damn, Uncle D is cussing up the storm over there. Yeah, I can be hood too. I can be ghetto. I try to act in a dignified manner, but unfortunately, sometimes what I'm saying doesn't register to everybody. You don't hear it unless I'm cussing you out and treating you like your mama used to treat you, cussing you out like your daddy and your granddaddy and your grandma used to treat you. That's unfortunate. But that, again, is that swine chip that you have in your head. See, this message that I'm having today, this will register to you. You see, because I've said it several times, and I said it in a way that oh, damn. You see, that's what we're dealing with, and that's so unfortunate. But the bottom line is, man, we got predator pookies, and it's part of our culture, and we need to begin to put them in control, get them under control. We need to get rid of them. We need to down their asses. What do you do with traitors? Huh? What do you do with men who commit genocide? What do you do with them? You let them stand next to you? Those of you who say stuff like, oh, they are warriors. No, they're not. They have no integrity. How can you stand next to a man and fight with him when he has no integrity? He'll sell you out the first chance he gets, which is what these predator pookies did. They sold us out. The white man came in with drugs and said, hey, why don't you sell this dope? And they did. Sold it to black people. There are others who say, like I said, Pookie's a warrior class. Absolutely not. As a matter of fact, Pookie's a snitch. Biggest snitch in the black community. And then there are others who say stuff like, oh, well, the talented 10th are compromised. What the fuck is the talented 10th? You talking about something from 120 years ago? All of you black folks are the talented 10th. You're the richest black people on this planet. 60% of black men have reached the middle class or are wealthy by the time they hit middle class or middle age. So what the fuck are you talking about? That shit don't apply. The rest of the Africans and the rest of the world are looking at us as the talented 10th. Period. So cut that shit out. Try that. Go use that on somebody with a fucking GED. Don't try that on me. Your best warriors from what? From the days gone by, Huey P. Newton had a fucking PhD and studied law at California University. Huh? These are the founders of the Black Panther Party for self-defense. Your greatest warriors are what? Educated men. And those are the ones that are willing to pick up the gun. So don't tell me a motherfucking Pookie is going to be a warrior on the front line. Are you fucking kidding me? Pookie is compromised. Pookie got warrants. Pookie got felonies. All Pookie is good for is maybe being a mercenary. But that means anybody, shit, you give his ass a bag of Doritos and some Hot Pockets, and he fighting for against your ass on the side of the enemy. You can't trust that. How can you trust somebody who's already proven that they will sell you out? Make that make sense for me. No, you need men with integrity on your side, man. Not these assholes, period. But anyway, I hope y'all appreciate what we're doing here. This is Dennis Sperling. Man, we got hit the W if you appreciate. I know this has been a different situation for me. I know that we got one more person. Renee, how you doing? What's your name, Renee?
Turn it down.
One more person. Renee, please.
Turn it down. I'm sorry. Hi, Uncle Dennis. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. If there's a delay, I'm sorry, sir. There's a delay going on.
What did you like to add to this?
Okay. So I know there's I don't know. This is not working.
All right. Oh, well. God bless her. I love you guys. If you appreciate what I'm doing, man, hit the W button, man. You know, and I know I don't like doing all this cussing and shit, but shit, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you need to cuss so the people in the back can fucking hear, man. I'm tired of this shit. Tired of all the fucking excuses, man. Aren't y'all tired of hearing the excuses, brothers? As a black man, aren't you tired of hearing excuses from other black men of why they can't succeed? When you have 60% of black men who by metric have succeeded. In other words, it's more of us than it is of the ones who fail. Aren't you tired of hearing them tell you what they can and can't do? Huh? Aren't y'all tired? See, we hit hard-hitting conversation. I don't want you to feel good on this motherfucking page. I want you to be angry and call me names and all that, because I'm going to bat that shit back at your ass. That's what we do here. You understand me? So I don't care. I want you to be mad. But I'm tired of the bullshit. I'm tired of my team losing. See, I'm on the black man's team, the black American man's team. Even our African brothers are talking shit about us. And them niggas as black as we are. You know what I'm saying? And most of them blacker. You understand what I'm saying? Our West Indian and Caribbean brother, I don't want to associate with them black. They motherfuckers is talking shit about us, man. And we champions out in this mother. We got all the champions on our squad. And we can't win? Huh? We supposed to be winning. We supposed to be whooping everybody else's ass. You understand? And we losing? Hell, motherfucking no. Not on my watch. Not while I'm the motherfucking team captain. We gonna whoop everybody's fucking ass. And we gonna get these clowns that's next to us in shape. All this side betting and Pookie shit today. You motherfuckers gonna fall in line and you gonna die slow, motherfucker. Matter of fact, you might die fast. That's what I'm talking about, man. And we need to get this shit. I'm not worried about what these bras got to say. All this back and forth y'all be doing with black women. That's why I don't even cater to black women on my page. I don't give a shit about what women think, man. Women fall in line. And see, if you was educated enough, you'll understand that. There's a book. Well, matter of fact, Wikipedia this shit, man. Matter of fact, they might have it verbally for y'all. Look at the founding of Rome. You know what they did? A bunch of dudes said, we're going to go over here to this other motherfucking island, or not island. We're going to go over here to this other part of the country, and we're going to take all they women and fight with they men. And you would think, oh my God, these women, they're not going to be loyal to us because we slaughtered their fathers and their brothers. Lo and behold, it was the women that said, no, father, brother, leave them alone. These are our husbands now. Women follow power. Right, that's right, under Romulus. That's exactly right. You see what I'm saying? Women follow power. They follow power. They follow power and success. If you begin to act with power and success, take control of yourself. Take control of your home. Take control of your life. You understand what I'm saying? This is what you have to do. You call this shit the manosphere? Well, goddamn it, be fucking men then. Be strong men, not just men in name. Be men in deed. Take control of what's supposed to be yours. You can't tell me that black men are supposed to be the leaders of black community but then you don't take and do what men are supposed to do. The Mexican man runs his community. The Asian man runs his community. The Arab man runs his community. Well, goddamn it, why can't the black man run his community? That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. Stop making fucking excuses. Yeah, I know these motherfucking thick-necked, hard-headed women they hard-headed. Who gives a fuck? She's just a woman. Shit, she bleed every motherfucking month. She get pregnant. It's just be men, brothers. Take control of what's yours. That's what I ask y'all to do, man. If you know it's yours, you don't have to ask for permission to go take what's yours. You understand me? Take control of what's yours. That's all I'm asking y'all to do. And don't let this fear and this low self-esteem shit that you have just hold you down. Look at brothers like myself. I'm not the motherfucking talented 10th. I'm a black dude from South Central LA that had a 2.6 GPA, and a motherfucker came to my campus with an application to go to Grambling State University. He said it costs $25 to apply to this motherfucker. And I said, well, damn. I'm fresh out the LA riots. I got extra VCRs in my motherfucking back of my Volkswagen Bug with the motherfucking size 12 speakers and the pull-out radio. Talented 10th my ass. I had a 2.6 GPA and a 750 on the SAT. I'm not talented as shit, but I outwork every motherfucker and I believe in myself, man. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. If I could do this shit, y'all could do it, man. I came from low. Didn't even know who my real daddy was to 10 years ago, man. Don't make excuses for why you can't do this and why you can't do that. Shit, man, let all that anger and rage and frustration, let that shit fuel you till you don't need it no more, man. That's all I'm telling you. But we got to end all these goddamn excuses, man. We got to end these excuses of why what we can't do it. We got to end it. And somebody say, where's my plan of action? No, motherfucker, what is your plan of action? I got my house. I got my neighborhood. What you gonna do for your house and yourself and your neighborhood? Stop looking for saviors to come and save you. Stop asking me what did John F. Kennedy say? Stop asking yourself, what can my country do for me? And start asking yourself, what can I do for my country? Or in this case, my nation, your black nation, your black people. That's what the fuck I want you motherfuckers to do. Anyway, I got to go pick my kids up. God bless y'all. Love y'all. I really do love y'all, man. I love y'all. I love you. I love you, brothers. You sisters, too. And if you see strong brothers moving forward, man, y'all, I know what you're going to do. You're going to fall behind them. And this ain't no motherfucking simp talk. This is real talk. This is Uncle D. I'm out.